Good morning, everybody. I'm Nikita Bear, and I'm happy to welcome you to the Warrior GMR Foundation esports event powered by Shenandoah University Esports. We're at the beautiful Shenandoah University in Winchester, Virginia, where the current forecast is 68 degrees with torrential downpour. And I'm happy to be here with my co-star, Alexander Merle Smith. How you doing, Xander?
Xander is fine for you and everyone else. I'm doing great. As he said, it's raining, it's pouring outside, but it did not stop the droves of people coming out today to compete in the couple of different events that we have going on today.
Yeah, I mean, what do we want to get started with? Do we want to talk about what we got going?
Let's talk about all of today. Yeah, I mean, we've got so much going on. We've got some Valorant. We've got some Smash Brothers. Hopefully we can get updates on all of that throughout the day because it's going to be a long one, but a good one. So why don't you talk us through a little bit of the competitions that we have today?
Yeah, so for the Smash side, it's going to be a traditional double elimination format. Everyone got 2 lives. I think we'll get some updates on numbers and what the bracket size and all that's going to look like, but after that, we'll update y'all throughout the day. Be on the lookout for that. And then I think for the majority of this cast, you're going to be looking at our Valorant, right? We have an 8-team tournament, double elimination, best of 1 all the way until the finals, I believe. So you're going to see a lot of maps, a lot of Valorant, a lot of gameplay.
Oh, yeah. And I think this is as good a time as any to jump right into the bracket that we have for today. So 6 different military branch teams coming in today. To round out the bracket, we've got 2 Shenandoah University teams, the A team and the B team. So this is going to be a great bracket. It is a double elimination as well, as you said. So this is going to be a good one. I mean, the fact that we were able to get all these amazing teams out here and competing live in person in our esports arena, I'm sure we can get a shot of that here soon. But boy, it is so cool. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, all the people coming out here, filling up the arena. We kind of had a little preface of it last night with our own broadcast where we had the crowd shouting and all that. I expect that to be at least twice as loud, 3 times as loud. So it's going to be energetic out there.
100%. Well, let's just go ahead and hop in and talk about the first matchup that we have today.
Yep.
The Space Force versus the Coast Guard is going to be our main stage. Really just kicking things off. Going to be a good one, but we don't really know too much about either one of these teams other than the open qualifiers.
Yep.
Or not open qualifiers. They've kind of, I would say, even more closed than anything qualifiers. Which 4 teams played in that one?
Yeah, so the qualifiers are more like the seeding determiner for this bracket. Hosted the first 4 seeds of this bracket. So that's U.S. Army Esports, Air Force Gaming, Navy, and Coast Guard. So those 4 teams battled in a round robin. Each team played each other, and the record of that determined the seeding. So
gotcha. For at least 4 of the teams.
Yeah, yep. So to go through that, Army was first seed. They went undefeated. Air Force is second seed. They went 2-1 with their only loss to Army. Which I think you were mentioning before that it was.
I think that it was a very close game into overtime. So I think that those 2 teams very, very evenly matched.
Yeah, and then Navy at 3rd seed went 1-2, beating Coast Guard, and then Coast Guard at that 4th seed going 0-3, with a lot of tough competition between them all. And that leads us to this first match between Coast Guard and Space Force. The 2 other armed force branches or communities and all that are entering in this tournament are the Space Force and then Regiment Gaming, which is a gaming community for active and veterans alike to meet each other, play video games, and all that. So I think that 5 and 6 seed of Space Force and Regiment are really going to be this unknown factor, wild card factor that we're going to be seeing in Game 1, right?
Yeah. I mean, we don't know too much about the Space Force and the players that they're working with, the skill level they're working with. So it's going to be fun to see, especially because they weren't able to get a part of that open qualifier. Keep saying open qualifier, but was not.
Closed qualifier. Closed seed determinant.
That's the qualifier. Just say that. But yeah, a little bit of a wild card, as you said. But it looks like we just got our first game first map of game number 1.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it looks like the first match is going to be going to Ascent. There's been a bit of a shakeup the last couple patches, right, where some abilities got nerfed for some classes. So Sentinels had a lot of nerfs recently. And then you have some of the duelists getting buffed. Like I think Phoenix, for example, his flash got buffed to a crazy extent. So offense and attacker side has really been getting a buff the last couple patches. So it's interesting to see Ascent get picked first because it's one of the last defender-sided maps that are left. So I think it'll be really interesting to look at who gets defender side first and how many rounds they win, right?
Right.
Because you really want to try to take advantage in that and then just try to coast along in attacker side, win a few rounds, and that'll lead you to victory, right?
Right. Honestly, I mean, with one-sided maps like this, it's going to feel pretty lopsided in the first half, right? And then if the teams are fairly even, then that could be a very big resurgence coming back for the team that was behind. So we may very well see that today.
Yeah, I think especially with very strong-sided maps, you get to test your team's mental ability really early on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're, let's say you're Space Force, you're coming here, you haven't played these teams before, this is your first match of the day. Everyone else has already played at least 3 matches in the last week or so. So this is a real test. We get put on attacker side first, unlucky, it's unfavored. Let's try to play strong. And if it starts out weak, you know you have that strong back half, right?
Right. Right. And, I mean, complete flip side, you get to test your resilience on how you react to the team having the strong side on the back end and whether or not you're able to pick some break points off of that team as well. So it goes both ways. And I wish we knew more about either one of these teams other than the Coast Guard being in that qualifier. But it should be a good one.
Yeah. I think this unknown factor is going to be kind of what's going through this entire tournament, at least for like the first half of it, first quarter of it. Because as we said, Space Force, unknown. Next match, we're going to have, I think, Shenandoah A against Air Force.
We know a little bit more about them.
Yeah, we know a little bit more about them, just not how they interact. But yeah, this has been great. I think we're going to cut to our casters to get into the meat and bones of the pick bands. So it's been great.
Let's throw it over to...
All right. Thank you guys so much for throwing it over to the casters. I, of course, am Alexander T. Kresek, joined on the desk by Vitaly Rivera. Vitaly, how are you feeling about this matchup? We talked a little bit about Coast Guard versus Space Force, but overall, how are you feeling about the day? How are you feeling about this matchup?
Overall, again, it is a little rainy, so Bear did mention it was... a lot of people came out to, play in this tournament.
Yep.
Again, it's going to be something that's pretty insane in terms of, as again, what Bear was mentioning, just that unknown factor, right?
Yep.
We don't really necessarily know too much about the teams, how they compete, what their play style is like. So, again, that's going to be something for us to look into, right? And I think it's going to be something that's going to be fun, especially for the viewers at home.
Yeah, and I know the analysts were talking about it. We've had a lot of teams coming in and out here. We've had a lot of people moving around in the last day or two. I did get a chance to sit down and talk with some of the Coast Guard people before they were getting into their matches, before they were getting ready for it. So I do have a little bit, of course, this is their first Valorant team ever.
Oh, wow.
So it is, it's a bit crazy for them. They're really excited to be here. And they don't have, unlike when you look at something like the Navy that has a straight up division for esports,
right.
The Coast Guard does not have that.
Right.
These are people who are on their free time, basically.
That's true, yeah.
Coming out here and competing for the Coast Guard. A lot of them are mechanics or engineers or things like that.
Yep.
And so, they're saying, we still have our Saturday to Sunday, our normal shifts that we got to do, and then we're coming out here just to perform and have fun in Valorant. One of the players was saying that they're just an FPS legend, right? They're playing Splitgate, Halo, and Valorant now. So, yeah.
Quite the resume.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really excited to see. I wasn't able to see too much of Coast Guard yesterday. We did have a couple of teams in here scrimming. I did see a little bit of Space Force, and I'm excited overall to see. It looks like in the tournament, when I talk to a lot of these teams, they're really looking at the Army or the Navy as one of those really strong teams. But, I love these. I would say, the Coast Guard, Space Force, maybe a little bit of the kind of underdogs in this situation. So I love to root for these guys, especially as they're making their way through the bracket. I think it's going to be a lot of fun regardless. And the arena is already starting to pack up. We got more and more people coming in here. So it is getting exciting for sure.
Very exciting. I can feel the energy, actually.
Yeah.
It's weird to say. I mean, definitely this is one of the bigger events, so there's going to be a lot more people. And I'm just excited to hear all the chants, all the screaming.
Yeah, exactly.
There's going to be a lot of moments, too, and I think there's going to be a lot of moments where there's just timing issues, right, where, you know, one person is going to see someone, like we can obviously see them right through the observer's perspective.
Yep.
They don't get to see that, right? Then it would be a little bit questionable. But I think it's going to be super fun.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun, and I mean, I cannot wait to get into this match because the crowd is just going to go crazy. It's been a while since we've had like a full in-person event like this, and the energy in these things are just immaculate. It's so good.
Fun.
Chef's kiss.
It's top tier, I should say.
Yeah, it's top tier. It's the best. And I'm glad that we're able to finally start moving back into these in-person live events just because of how much energy and kind of movement that they bring. It's so exciting. So talk us a little bit about Ascent, Vitaly. You play on one of the Valorant teams for SU, the main one. You're not playing today.
I am playing today.
You are playing today?
Playing, so I'm actually going to be, after this game, I believe I'm going to be going back out there and performing for the 18th.
Oh my gosh, so you are playing for today as well as casting. So you're doing it all basically. Okay, well let's talk about this first map pick. It's going to be Ascent.
Right.
What are you feeling? What sort of agents are we going to see on this map?
So in terms of agents, one of the big ones, I mean, it's just kind of the top pick. It's going to be a Chamber, right?
Yeah.
A can control a lot of that mid just with his one trip, but then again to kind of play it in really aggressive angles, kind of get those nice off angles, just to get that one pick, get out. And his abilities are honestly just amazing.
So good.
You know, just to get in those aggressive situations and back out immediately, right?
Yep.
I think another big one is going to be that KO. KO is a really great one, especially for his ultimate ability. He nullifies any sort of ability usage on the opposing team, and then he also has flashes, so he's kind of a really big threat, especially on Ascent. But Ascent is more of a defender-heavy map, right? So if you're on that defending side first, you're looking to be at somewhat of a more advantage in that early game. But again, we don't really necessarily know the levels of these teams, especially between these first two. Right? So I think we really are going to try and see, at least hopefully, trying to see a lot of trading going on, a lot of playing together. And again, just really looking for the attacker's side to try and make some sort of snowball, some sort of forward progression, because it is pretty difficult, especially if we're seeing like an Omen pick, right, who can basically smoke anywhere from anywhere.
From anywhere,
So that's a really big pick as well. I know you can do a lot of one-way angles with his smokes as well. So we're going to be looking at a lot of, I think, similar comps for Ascent. Now, other maps I'm not too sure of, but I think the top picks for those, or for this map in particular, is we're looking for Chamber, we're going to be looking for a KO, and then we're going to be looking for that Omen. If not, again, we have other versatile smokes as well, right? We have a Brimstone who has an ability that can, a lot of post-plant utility, right? So he has that ultimate ability that is basically this nuclear beam that comes from the heavens and just obliterates anyone who's in that field. But then also a Molly as well. We can look for hopefully some Molly lineups today. See if some people know a little bit of lineups. I'm excited
for the lineups.
The lineups are going to be fun, and hopefully we can also catch those in action. But overall, those are, I think, the top picks for that map.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be looking into that. Unfortunately, our lobby did crash. We're having some technical difficulties, so we are just going to be here a little bit longer. No worries. I mean, it happens, right? It's esports. Technical difficulties are the thing. But here we go, getting into these picks. And we're going to have Coast Guard on the left, Space Force on the right. And, it's some interesting picks. Vitaly, what are we seeing here?
So, okay, of course I did mention that Chamber, right? Now, I could be incorrect. I did see that Killjoy on the screen for a split second. So I don't know if they're going to be picking that, but Killjoy's also really good, especially on that B side. It's pretty narrow to like the walkway to try and get into B, just getting out of that kind of choke point is pretty difficult, especially if there's a lot of utility. And then she can also play off of her mollies in the lane area, so it kind of throws a lot of people into that lane area. But I see that we're getting into it now. First round, What are we looking at?
Yeah, what are we looking at? Coast Guard, we're going to have a Fade Omen Jet KO. There's no chamber at all in this game. This is a bit crazy for me. I think. I'm not expecting this. There is literally no chamber. We do see 2 jets, so of course they do have an opera of some kind.
Right.
But yeah, I guess I'm a little taken aback right now. I assumed that Chamber was the character that people would be playing. Vitali, why would they not pick up Chamber here?
Again, I think the utility usage off of the Killjoy is going to be really important on this B site, as we are seeing this team going in, and we do see that there it is. That Molly does kind of hold them back into that choke point as Coast Guard does get those first 2 picks, and we are looking as Dio is on site, unchecked, and he is going to be in Boathouse, and he is looking to try and clear that out, but he does get that 3rd pick. Or is that second pick, I should say. Sorry about that.
Yeah, KJ was on the 3rd looking for the 4th, but Dio in the back. Just going to keep picking up picks. And this is exactly where Space Force wants to be. They are planting right now. Faye's going to try to get some information, but not much happening. They do spot out 1. The Haunt's going to come out, see if they can make something happen. They're going to pick up 1.
Oh,
going for the wall
bang! That was a beautiful wall bang. Now it's only 1 left. Can Dio salvage anything from here? He does, I believe, get taken back, and there it is. Coast Guard does get that first round. Let's kind of break that down a little bit, right?
Let's do it.
So we did see that Killjoy utility, as I was mentioning, going to be really crucial on this B site. We do see that turret kind of peeking into that B main area. A little questionable, but they did get that a good pick out of that eye, and again, it's a 3-1. It's pretty tough to kind of come back from that.
Absolutely. I mean, if anyone was going to do it, it was probably going to be Dio back there, but they knew where he was. It was a 1v3, too many angles to look at, and so Coast Guard gets a first opening up here.
And here we go. We are looking at the Coast Guard trying to get some sort of information, right? Space Force is looking to try and take this B area here again. And again, they're walking into this KJ utility, and it's going to be really tough. It does spot out 1 player, so they're looking, and he does pop that Molly early. They do happen to get into lane, but that Jet's super low as Jet is on site, but he's alone by himself. No one else enters now. Dio coming in, and it looks like they're kind of playing back. I think what they're trying to do is have this B main control, and then just have 2 people at least out on site to kind of just hold down the fort, right?
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, Space Force has made it on to site, practically uncontested here. Great smokes, great lineups here just to push back the rest of Coast Guard. So they're going to be playing for this retake. They do spot out 1 in the back. They're going to find it. Of course, KJ moving forward. They know where KJ's coming from. Going to pick up
Gooby!
1. Oh my gosh!
Gooby with the 3. And also, we do have Dougal getting those nice little 2 picks to clear and kind of secure that second round.
Yeah, and I will say, KJ, Gooby on the side of Coast Guard is going insane right now, making some really big plays early on in this game. The momentum certainly in their favor. Look at that, 3 kills again.
Yep.
So they're at 6 kills round 2 already.
One of the big things that I'm seeing, though, from Space Force, right? Instead of looking to try and take space towards the switch area, they're taking space lane. I would question that kind of play, especially with the Jet entry.
Yeah.
Trying to really create space instead of just funneling yourself into this lane does get you in a kind of problematic situation, right? So we're going to look to try and see if they can hit A here. It's really difficult to get any sort of forward progression, especially on B, without getting any sort of damage, right? Especially with that Molly and that turret being able to spot anybody out. And we do look to see Space Force getting a nice little jump peek, but doesn't spot anything, and Dougal does have to back out as they are looking to reposition. I believe they're going to try and... Oh, Forrest, does he get at least 1?
With the Sheriff in the corner?
I don't think they clear
Will they check it? Will they check it?
They don't clear him.
They're not clearing. He's not going to get it.
Forrest with the 1. He gets the second
They didn't
pick.
check the corner.
They didn't check. Oh, and Coast Guard, it's just, oh my God.
Through the smoke.
Forrest is going in right now, and they're looking to try and get that final pick, just not keeping him alive. There it is. Zam with that final pick. Coast Guard, honestly, is doing really well defensively, right?
Yep.
And like I was mentioning, it's very defensive heavy. a lot of the angles, especially on defensive side, you can kind of peek a little earlier, and you have that advantage. But again, Forrest with a nice just three kills right there. And again, they have to clear those corners. You never know, because again, especially on the defensive side, you can kind of angle yourself and set yourself up in off angles, and just like we saw there, they didn't clear that wine area, and they paid the price.
Yeah, and the thing is right, they weren't sure where it came from. They saw that their Sova died, but they didn't know how, so they didn't know where to look, which just allowed Forrest a little bit more mobility, a little bit more time to get a second pick, throw down the smoke, know that they have Spike, and then pick up a gun and finish off the rest of the team. And
Forrest with the op. He's opping now. Now, this is pretty crucial, especially for a Jet, right? Jet is able to get in those, again, off angles. I think I'm going to keep reiterating that, especially on that chamber and Jet. You're able to get these nice little angles, be a little bit more aggressive, and then back out, right? And again, as we saw, Forrest getting that nice first pick, and they are up in man advantage, as that Sova drone doesn't see anything, but it looks like they're backing out. Air Bear does look to get some sort of flank going, but he has to back out, or else he's going to get picked. He backs out all the way. It is safe, and it looks like I think they're going to be rotating towards B.
Yeah, and honestly, that was a great play by the Omen here, realizing that the whole team was turning around, needed to get out immediately, but really, they're just sitting on pistols at this point. Space Force not really able to make too much happen. They're down 2 people with pistols. They're trying to make this rotate, but Coast Guard is ready for it.
Right, and this is also pretty tough too, especially if you're saving, right? You kind of have to just play together. And they are just funneling one by one. Forrest does get a nice 3 kills there again. Dougal trying to get that final kill, and it is a flawless. That's pretty crucial, especially going into this 5th round.
Yeah, and I think we're really seeing how defender-sided Ascent is right now. The Coast Guard looking indomitable, right? They're looking so strong with everything that they have going on. Forrest popping off here with the op, does have the money in the bank to buy a little bit of the fancier things in life here. Able to get some more money, and look at this economy right now. We do see a little bit coming out of Space Force, but again, it is a little bit of a thrifty at this point.
Right. I think one of the big things, especially for Ascent on attacker side at least, you want to look to try and take control of the mid area. I feel like as soon as you get control of this mid area, you're able to kind of pivot where it is you want to go. You can either go B through tree, or B through market, or you could go A through tree, really kind of just space out. And Forrest, again, getting really aggressive, going for that first pick as Zam follows that up, and now Space Force doesn't have any smokes, and now they're kind of looking to just finish off the rest. Again, walking just one by one into the line side. Dio does get a nice pick, and he is going to head towards lane, getting on site. Dougal does hear that, as I don't think Dio expects that. And then he gets blinded, and here it is. Just
there's everyone there. Again. Nothing that Dio can do. A great attempt, right? Get on site, try to make something happen, try to plant. But again, the rest of Coast Guard was just collapsing onto Dio. And again, right, the money on the side of Space Force is just in ruins at this point.
Right.
They can only do so much.
And that's one of the big things, especially in tactical shooters and in a game like Valorant, is you want to have that economy. You want to make sure that you're able to buy the good guns. If you can't, that's where you save. Right? So hopefully we're looking to try and have more of opportunities for Space Force to be able to buy up, to kind of be able to compete against Coast Guard's just amazing defense right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Coast Guard really setting up a clinic right now, really showing why this map is defender favored. And oh my gosh, Force again going for these, but it looks like it's going to be a mid attempt potentially from Space Force. Actually,
no, it's gonna look like a very fast XQB. Here it is. They all swing out. Dougal and Gooby getting their ones and popping that. Dougal does get a second, and it is again one man. Spider-Man is trying to just do his best, get some sort of picks, and spray down from Dougal, getting that 3rd pick.
Yeah, unfortunate Jet got caught on the wall there.
Yeah, I think it's because of that flash. I think he did get flashed.
Yeah, okay.
Again, just very defensive heavy. Again, this Killjoy is super, super good on B, and again, they can look to have that op towards A. So now there's a lot of pressure from an opera on A and then the Killjoy utility on B. And it's either you look to clear all of the utility out B and not go towards this lane area, that little funnel space where Killjoy does typically put their util, or you can try and push out past the switch and towards the defender side spawn area and try and collapse the people on site instead of just funneling through that little lane area.
Yeah, and we are going to see a little bit of Sova, util, Dio going to find one, but Omen just going to jump out, not going to stay there.
Yep, and Omen does get that pick, so now they are down an entry fragger. Entry fragger basically means that they're trying to create that space, trying to get that first kill, and we do see Cal does get that pick, and now it's just a trading game. Now we do see Coast Guard up in a 3v1 situation. Again, Forrest really just being aggressive with this operator. He does switch it out, try and get that final pick, and he's going in. He is tiles. He does get that molly off, and he does get that final pick, looking to pick up that operator again. Again, Coast Guard is looking super dominant right now on defense.
Absolutely. I think that was the last bullet of the Sheriff. Ran through the Vandal, only had one bullet left in the Sheriff, able to finish it off. But this is the most life that we've seen out of Space Force for this round, right? We saw some trades coming out, aside from the pistol round, which was a lot closer. But here, Space Force, a little bit of signs of life happening. They're making their trades. They're trying to make something happen. You said earlier when we were talking about it, if you're on attack, you want to make something happen. It's so defender-sided, but you still want to have some sort of impact on the attacking side. You can't just go silent, right?
Right. And I think one of the big things, again, is trying to take space in that mid area. But we do see this Jet posted up again in this wine area with that operator as Dougal is looking to kind of peek off, and they do get those two picks. It's pretty crucial right there, and Jet does back off a wine and try and get in a more safer position as we do see that mid getting controlled. And he does get the jump peek. Forrest, he's going insane right now.
He's going absolutely incredible. Once he got the op, he is just out of his mind.
And Air Bear does get that nice flank, again separating the team. No one is actually towards A main right now, and I believe they don't know that this Killjoy is here. It is going to be a Killjoy v Killjoy 1v1. Here we go. Does get that molly off, I believe, and is looking to try and run on site, but that molly does finish him off. Again, super crucial on B, right? Yep. Again, you can also look to just play safe. You can play off of your utility. That's one of the big things, especially with the Killjoy on that B site. You can honestly just stay back and just wait. It's a waiting game. You're kind of just posted up, aiming at one angle and playing off of that utility. Yep. And again, Forrest doing a really great job opping here, taking a lot of the early angles and winning those early fights as well.
Yeah, and here we go, taking a quick look at the money. Space Force will be buying this round. They do have the money. They do have armor. So this is their best shot, I think, on the attacking side. They're going to try to make something happen. Force is going to get spotted out.
Oh, my goodness. Cat did not see that ping, apparently. And Force is looking to kind of get another pick as
Force is so aggressive.
Super aggressive. And Air Bear does get another pick on that Killjoy. And he's trying to get a little, he's trying to do an updraft no scope. Air Bear does get that second pick, and he was playing through mid as Cal is going to follow that up. Now they don't have any smokes on Coast Guard, but it is a 2v4 situation for Space Force here.
Yeah, and Gooby and Forrest just going.
Is he gonna go? He's going for the knife, and Forrest, absolutely, oh man.
Yeah, had the op shot lined up, decided, nope, let's throw out the knife.
And this is really interesting. They saw the reveal of that Sova dart, but doesn't do anything about it. They don't clear that angle. I don't think Space Force was calming that at all. But Forrest, again, being super aggressive, just operating and, again, creating that space and a lot of pressure from Forrest.
Yeah, I mean, Forrest in particular right now, the Jet player for the Coast Guard, is making so much happen here. And yeah, we keep hearing the knife audio.
Oh, here it is. Forrest going with a nice off draft. Does get a nice pick on Kaz. Air Bear also follows that up on a pick with Dio. And he's going in again. He's looking to try and get as much damage as he can. And again, he's opping. He does get that third pick. Does he look to get this fourth one as Space Force is down 1v5? I mean, let's talk about just how aggressive Coast Guard is on defense.
Yeah. It makes me excited for their attack. If they're this aggressive on defense, what does their attack look like?
I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Again, we did talk about how it is very defender heavy. And there it is. Lego does go down by that KJ util and just the gunplay.
I mean, there's very little that like a solo KJ on attack can do, right? That's just a big ask, especially when you have the other Jet who is going insane this round. Just pick up a 3-piece immediately with their ultimate early in the round. There's not much you can do. Just trying to get through this molly that they have over there, just set up on the B site. So Space Force not looking great right now. Down 10 rounds. They're on attack. They will have at least an opportunity to be on defense, but they got to make something happen.
And here it is. They're using that KJ util to funnel anybody out of sight as Forrest is looking to be super aggressive in this ult. Does go down. Now Opper's down, and they're looking to try and just create space, get themselves onto that site. Again, they have a lot of utility, so now they're shutting down everyone else's utility. With that KO ult, Space Force is looking to try and go forward as they are now up one man, and Air Bear is looking to try and get some sort of plays. I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to go out of market. Again, we're looking to try and see that just early picks. There it is, Lego in B main, getting that nice pick, but he does get sprayed down through the wall as Dougal gets that kill, and now we have 3 men on site. There it is, Gooby does get that pick, but does not follow up. Dio getting that nice pick as he does go down now, and now it's all down to Cal. He's looking, oh, Dougal!
The 1v1 KO just barely making it through. Oh my gosh, that was the closest Space Force has gotten to taking a round here, and I bet they are kicking themselves right now. That was their opportunity. They dropped ultimates, they dropped utility, they dropped kills. They almost made it happen. But again, the Coast Guard just too strong. They shored up that sort of weakness, and they were able to take these fights, especially at the end here.
Yep.
And he knew where to look to. He turns around, knows that KO is coming from that direction, just not able to hit those shots, unfortunately.
Right. And again, we're looking at that post-plant situation, right? That Killjoy had an amazing post-plant situation in that B main. I don't think they realized that he was there, but then unfortunately does get picked off, and that, again, alleviates a lot of that pressure to try and clear that for Coast Guard.
Yeah, and here we go. Forrest just going to snipe down Sova's helicopter. Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
They know he's there. I mean, I think it's interesting that they try to peek that when they know that Forrest is there. They know that the Opper, the Jet, who's been popping off all game, is looking that way.
Right. And that's one of those big things where you don't want to try and peek into the operator unless you're feeling super confident. But even at that, even if confidence is a determining factor, you don't want to peek into the operator because, again, it's a one shot to the body.
Exactly.
So we're looking as Air Bear now does get killed by Lego, and Zam is looking to try and pinch on that. And here it is, another defender win. And that's 12 straight rounds by the Coast Guard.
12 straight rounds. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is incredible. We did see Forrest pick up a 4K at the end there. Just such great operating ability.
Right. I mean, he's been pretty spot on with those shots.
He's just hitting everything.
I think his warm-up was really solid for him to be able to hit those shots.
Yeah, absolutely. So Space Force on their last legs here. This is match point. They're gonna need to make something happen. They're gonna need to come alive here. We do get a swap, right? So 12 rounds. It is now the Coast Guard on attack. Space Force has the advantage on defense, but the momentum completely on the side of Coast Guard. If you're Space Force, you just got to be thinking about, oh my gosh, 12 rounds, cannot do anything. So it's really up, and we have Force on the Sheriff. We saw this earlier, so let's see if something can happen here. Just going for the one-tap guns.
Oh, man. And here it is. Again, if you can control mid-area, you have a lot of the map, right? And here it is. Lego does get funneled. He does get that pick, and Cow does get another pick as Forrest, again, is just going forward. He does get that pick. He does get that trade. And now we're looking at Zam getting that pick on Dio, and now it brings it to a 3v3 situation. He does post up in this log situation, and we have to make sure he clears that, right? Spider-Man does get a little nervous with this smoke, and they are trying to clear it, but I believe they're going to be playing towards CT. And now Cal, I believe I'm pronouncing that wrong, but there it is. Forrest getting another pick, now leaving Coast Guard in a very good situation here, but this Jet is very low, and he does get another pick, even at 22 health, and now it's down to Brimstone. He doesn't He's very, very nervous. He is also super low.
He's got to go in, though. This
does have to go
has
in.
to go all in. A 1v3. Brim low. Going to find Forrest. He pulls on the knife, but unfortunately going to get taken down by the Fade. And with that, the Coast Guard, a flawless victory over Space Force. Oh, my goodness.
That was very dominant on Coast Guard's end.
Very dominant indeed. I know we were talking about, the analysts were talking about it. We weren't sure what to expect out of either of these teams, and the Coast Guard came out swinging.
Absolutely.
They came to this tournament to play.
And I think I want to point out the MVP of that game is Forrest.
Forrest, absolutely.
Really just a really great operator. Again, getting those different off angles, playing super aggressive when he can and then backing out when he should. Again, hats off to both teams.
Yeah.
We did see a lot of really close games, close rounds as well. But I guess, again, it just went in favor of Coast Guard.
Yeah, no, the Coast Guard just looks so dominant. Of course, Forrest, the playmaker of the team.
Right.
Of course, Gooby, though, the KJ, had a fantastic start, able to get some picks as well. And so with that game ended probably potentially a lot faster than I think a lot of us were expecting.
Right.
We may have another game to cast as well.
Right.
Right now, I believe that Army is playing SU's B team.
Okay.
So we may be able to go take a look at that and see how they are doing.
Let's do that.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, for right now, let's break down Ascent really quickly. Wow, it's defender-sided.
Super.
Maybe not that defender-sided.
Not so much. Again, if you really look to try and take that mid area, that's kind of the big thing that you want to do, right?
But now we're on Icebox.
And we are on Icebox. We do see Army going against Shenandoah. It says
it's A team. All right. Yeah, so here we go. The Army versus SU on Icebox, and it's looking like a very similar scoreline here. Army is 12-0. It's match point. They just switched. Icebox, are we looking at a defender side, attacker side?
I want to say it's more defender heavy. It definitely can, go in the favor of the attacker side, especially with the kind of utility usage that is being played or being shown. As long as you combine that utility all together, it does make for a really nice offensive push. But again, I want to say it's pretty defender heavy, as we do see. Sorry, we were incorrect. It was not the Shenandoah A. It was the SUB team we are looking at here.
And look at how aggressive they're playing here.
Right. As you do see, Neko does get picked. And we do see Javi or Javi. I do apologize for the mispronunciation if there was one. Juicy Juice does get that nice first pick. Oh, Juicy Juice with the 2. And she's looking to try and get some sort of pick. Oh, here it is. Juicy Juice is on her last leg. 16 health, trying to get some sort of ball rolling, and
trying to make something happen. And with that, Army 13-0. I didn't think we'd see this many 13-0s, and I didn't think we'd see them back-to-back right now.
Right.
So Coast Guard, as we said, looking very strong against Space Force, but the Army looking very, very strong as well. 13-0. That was one of the teams that we did hear a lot. One of the teams that a lot of the other players and teams were like, hey, got to look out for Army.
Right.
So
and again, it's weird. What I've heard was the Army and Navy, right? So those are the two teams that I feel like we're going to be seeing really good games from. And again, both to all the teams that we just saw play. Again, everyone probably played a really great game, especially that SU B team that we didn't get to see so much of. But in terms of just Coast Guard Space Force, they played really well. But yeah, I wasn't expecting the 13-0s.
No, I was not either, and I'm very interested to see what our analysts have to say about this. So we're going to send it right over back to Bear and Xander. Take it away, guys.
Thank you so much. And wow, what a first couple of matches we saw. 2 13-0 sweeps. Really strong showing coming out from these two teams already.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an Army fan, if you're a Coast Guard fan, that's exactly what you want to see, right? 13-0. They didn't let the side, because they started out defender side, right? And they didn't let that phase them at all. For that second half that we talked about, that is another mental leap. And I think for the two other teams on the side of those matches, it's all about this loser's run, right? That's the benefit of the double elimination bracket. You can persevere, come through, use it to grow, and make a run.
Absolutely. And I got to be honest, if that's what Coast Guard's capable of, going 0-3 in the qualifiers and then 13-0ing our first team here today, I can't even imagine how good these other squads are that are able to beat Coast Guard 3 times in a row, because Forrest with that op, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, this is shaping up to be a fun tournament. I mean, that's all I could say.
And we've only got 2 games down so far. We've got more to come. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
At Verizon, we don't just thank service members, we hire them. They're the best trained workforce in the world. We proudly employ more than 8,000 U.S. military veterans who can apply their training and move forward in their careers. I'm proud to support our V-teamers who have served and continue to serve. On behalf of all of Verizon, I want to thank you for your service and wish you a happy Veterans Day.
Excitement, competition, and new learning opportunities in a safe environment. It's no wonder schools across America are turning to esports as a way to engage students and offer them the chance to hone skills that will be relevant in the tech-driven careers of tomorrow. SHI has been helping K-12 and higher education institutions build effective and secure esports programs that support science, technology, engineering, and math since 2016. We're proud sponsors of the hugely successful Battle Academy Esports Tournament, with over 200 K-12 and higher education schools participating across the U.S. From building complete esports programs and state-of-the-art gaming arenas, to supplying the latest devices and components your students need to compete, SHI's team of dedicated esports education specialists can help you not only realize the right esports strategy and curriculum for your school, we can also help you identify and secure grant funding as well. Don't get left behind in the race to evolve your educational and sporting curriculum with esports. Learn more about how to get started in the world's fastest growing sport. Speak with an SHI specialist today and discover how we are helping K-12 and higher education institutions across America become competitive.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
Are you looking to fight for glory? 6 branches, 3 titles, 1 epic showdown. Join us in building the greatest esports community America has to offer. Compete against your comrades, or team up to win some branch-themed swag. Squad up for the upcoming season, and you might even land yourself some virtual chest candy. Be sure to enlist in the Military Gaming League Discord today, and never miss out on another opportunity. You're already an American hero. Now it's time to become an esports legend.
be in orbit. Three, two, one, zero. Nice to be in orbit. Discovery Houston, press to ATO. Nice to be in orbit. Discovery Houston, press to ATO. Three, two, one, zero. to be in orbit. Three, two, one, zero. Nice to be in orbit. Discovery Houston, press to ATO. Nice to be in orbit. Discovery Houston, press to ATO. Three, two, one, zero.
Welcome back. We got a lot to talk about, right? We got some updates. We know what's coming up next. What do you want to start with?
Well, I mean, I'm happy to talk about what we just watched here, the 13-0 romp that we saw the Coast Guard over the Space Force. I mean, we talked about it briefly before we left the break. Forrest on that op, oh my goodness. I finished the game, I believe, 26-2, was 16-0 last I saw before he even took a death. So unbelievable starting performance from Forrest to lead that team to their first quarterfinal victory.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's this first round so far. It's the story of the Jets, the unstoppable Jets, because in the Navy Regiment game, that one resulted in a 13-2 win for Navy. Their top fragger non-skid played Jet and went 21-6, right? Like, it's the mobility, it's the op. There's just a lot of power there if you put it in the hands of the right operator.
Absolutely. And being able to have some of those pop-off performances really helps boost the morale of the rest of the team. So having some star player that you can get behind and really just have them forge the way and you just clean up the scraps, I mean, that's a great way to start things off. And the first couple of teams have really shown why they're here and moving on to the second round, the semifinals of the upper bracket. But speaking of the upper bracket, let's go ahead and take a look at this update as we see Army Esports and Coast Guard there in the semifinals. Navy Esports awaits the winner of this next game, SUA versus the Air Force. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Air Force, because we can talk about SUA because that is in fact our varsity team here at Shenandoah University Esports. But the Air Force, out of the qualifier, went 2-1, right?
Yep.
I had a chance to talk with their coach a little bit. They basically said that they aren't worried about anybody here, despite not coming out that 3-0 in the qualifier, right?
Yeah.
2-1. Apparently, that one game against Army super duper close. So they believe that they can beat anybody here. We'll see what Shenandoah is able to do. As we saw last night, if you tuned into the Shenandoah University Esports channel, they had just a heartbreaking loss there in overtime. So they have a little bit of trouble fighting late. So if this game goes long and maybe into overtime, you might see Shenandoah have a little bit of troubles there where Air Force might be able to come out on top.
Yeah, it's that last hump for SU that they haven't been able to conquer yet. It's been really good at forcing those overtimes. You see this early disadvantage. Maybe you got that 9-3, right? They're really good at forcing it back, bringing it back 12-10, 12-11, maybe even that 12-12, and enter that overtime. And then it's just sticking it, trying to get over it. That's the last step for SUA. So I think that's going to be the test for them, right? If they get a lead early, I mean, that's going to be a great morale booster. But if they're at a disadvantage, I think they're going to be used to that. I don't think they're going to be discouraged or anything like that. So I think that halftime is where that real adjustment is going to come. And we're
Absolutely.
Going to see what SUA we're looking at and what Air Force has to offer.
Yeah, and I mean, it might come down to the coaching. Obviously, if you can want to try and reset your teammates or your players if they are going down a little bit, or even if they're up. We talked about either side of that coin. So you just want to have a complete reset. The game resets itself. You just switch sides. Your econ's back to 0, right? Yep. So you just want to make sure that regardless of how the first half goes, you reset and start anew and get ready for the next task at hand.
Yeah, I mean, especially bringing up that topic of coaches, it's these pauses that they have, right? So if you see some team steamrolling, you as a coach can use that pause to really shift the dynamic, shift the mentality, slow things down if you want to slow things down, speed things up if you want to speed things up. So I think that's kind of another level of maybe meta gameplay that we could be looking at when teams are pausing, if they're pausing, and what is the result of that pause, right? Because you could take a pause to slow things down, but if you don't adjust, it's not really worthwhile, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you're able to control the tempo of the play and the mentality of your team and then somehow use that to your advantage to get into the heads of your opponents, using that sort of pacing, that can have a big impact. Absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about the Air Force because I talked to the coach, as I said, and it sounds like their players have only been playing together for about 3 months. So not a lot of time, to build a lot of that, team cohesion. I guess I could say the same thing about the Shenandoah, right? We just had tryouts earlier in the semester, and they're getting to know each other. They've had tons of competition. So this is kind of a battle of two teams that haven't had too much time in the trenches together.
Yeah, I mean, in this space, maybe you could say 3 months is a lot of time to have a team together, right? I think there are some teams here that were put together even quicker than that. So maybe that might be the advantage, right?
That's true. But yeah, I mean, this has been going super duper well so far. We've got 3 games down. We've got a couple of winners bracket games happening on some of the side streams. We'll make sure to check out Twitch chat. We may have some information about where you can find those as well. But I mean, we're just waiting for these teams to get in. And have you spoken with any of the players from Shenandoah? How are they feeling about today?
I think it's a big question mark. I think it's hard to get mentally prepared to face so many teams that you've never seen before, right? I've talked to the coach extensively. I've heard about some meta picks that might be brought out, or some practice plays that I don't want to leak too early in case someone's in the Twitch chat, but we'll be here in the post game, so don't worry about that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, everybody, that's going to be it from us at the analyst desk. We're going to send it over to our casters to get a little bit of the action for Shen UA and the Air Force.
Thank you so much, Xander. So good to hear from you, and excited to be back behind the desk with Brian himself. We were a duo at Shenandoah, I believe, and now we're back here behind the desk for a very exciting event. I can't wait to get into it. We have Shenandoah A up against the Air Force. Brian, what are you expecting to see from these teams?
To be honest, I'm not expecting much. Like, I've seen the Shenandoah A team play a lot, so I kind of have a good understanding of their play style. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to Air Force, I've never seen them play before. So. Yeah. But I did hear some little tidbits from their scrims that they had yesterday with some of the other teams, and it sounds like they're pretty good. So I'm expecting to have a really good match here because I know Shenandoah A team's good, and the Air Force team is good as well. I'm expecting a long match. Yeah, and we saw 3 games already, all of which pretty one-sided. A 13-0 on 2 of them, and then 13-2 on the other, I believe, was the scoreline. So maybe we see a game that's a little bit closer. Hopefully we see that. I love a close game of Valorant. It's so exciting. I love close game really in any esport, I'll be honest. But Valorant just adds that level of hype. You make one mistake, it might cost your team the round. You lose, like let's say you lose someone like a Sova. That's a really important character to lose early on. What are you expecting to see character-wise out of both of these teams? Honestly, it depends on the map pick because there's a lot of different metas for each map. So, but if we're sticking with the normals, we're always going to probably see a Chamber on every map, probably a Viper. She's got a pretty high pick rate, maybe a Sova. But we're expecting to see a lot of that Chamber-Viper combo, maybe mixed in with a little bit of Jet, Reyna, Fade. So that's what I'm expecting to see a lot of.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see a good amount of Fade over Soba as things have progressed. And if we actually take a look here, we can see what teams are going to be picking. And it's about the same, honestly, aside from a few different, I believe it's just the duelists that are different in this.
Yeah, the race pick coming out, I don't generally see that on the Ascent side. Normally it's definitely a Jet that comes out, but going with the Raze on Ascent, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, and if you notice, it's just like you said, Chamber, of course, almost an insta-lock. He's such a strong character conceptually. They've nerfed him, twice now? And he's still being picked so much. And it's just because as a character, he's so strong. The ability to teleport, the ability to get information. You get a free op eventually, hopefully at some point through the game. And then, of course, like I mentioned, there is that Fade that I figured we would see because Fade is just so better. I wouldn't say it's so much better than Sova, but it's so different than Sova utility-wise. Normally on Ascent, though, we generally see a Sova pick come out on Ascent as well because there's a lot of really good lineups on Ascent and a lot of information you can get from like A main, B mains, normally with the Sova pick, but I mean, Fade is the same way. You use the util to get the info, and that's exactly what they're going for.
Yeah, and then Omen as the smokes option. I love to see it personally as an Omen main.
Yeah.
And it's just the ability. You have so many smokes that come up repeatedly. It really allows for a lot of cover on your team if you're able to stay alive, not to mention the movement you also get as a result of it. So I'm excited to see what these players do with the Omen picks as we head into game number 1 here.
Yeah, it's looking like they're setting up over towards B here, which is generally normal for a pistol round to head over towards the B site. Normally if you want to go towards A, you would split it, but with B, it's a lot more close range, so you tend to see pistol rounds end over here.
Yeah, and it looks like we are 15 seconds away from getting this game started, and it looks like, I believe that's Omen's blind up and ready to just rush in blind and blind right off the bat, so that's going to be an interesting thing to see. Roomba is ready there for Skinny on the Air Force, and now here they go, folks. We are getting into game number 1, and we see an early Fade orb going to come out, not going to find anything there. Great job there by Air Force to get rid of that recon early on here.
Yeah, looking like a lot of information coming out over here towards the A side, and they're actually going to come over for the split now.
Yeah, and that is a big shift from what we saw in the pregame, and it looks like Bunter is going to swing, and he's not going to find anyone. However, CDM is there to get that trade for his teammate, and now it looks like Air Force has complete control of the site, and CDM should just back off here and try and not maybe ego challenge. So me and you both know, being his teammate from CS, he's not going to do that.
No, he does not like to shy away from the ego peak. If he's able to get a pick, he's going to go for it.
Absolutely. There's nothing he loves more than that. And now 3v4 in favor of Air Force as they try and defend the site. However, Daichi does make it one less. However, trades are going out left and right, and now it is all down to CDM with that Sheriff on the jet. Can he try and find it? And the timing there just unfortunately cannot find the last two, and Air Force will take round number 1.
Yeah, they ended up going over for this split over towards the A side after making a little bit of noise over towards the B side, so they were able to draw the rotation, and it pretty much left them for a fairly open side over on A, and they got the pick and tree and were able to get the bomb down, and then they pretty much traded out from there and left it up to a 1v2 that unfortunately CDM could not capitalize off of.
Yeah, and there is that unfortunate case of timing that is every FPS player's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the pick Daichi had. He almost was able to get that spray long range onto main. If he picked that up, we're looking at a completely different game right there.
Yeah, we'd probably be looking at like a 2v2 retake, and even when CDM was trying to retake there, he was able to get the dink through the wall, but not able to get enough damage out to kill the guy over in tree. So kind of unfortunate there, and then like you said, got timing, which in a game like this, timing is some of the worst thing that can happen to you. So.
Yeah, it really is. But of course, we have so much more of the game to play out. So don't go anywhere as we head into round number 2. We're going to see Skinny try and get on site really fast. Daichi gets the dink, but can't quite finish it off. Stray is down to 15 HP, and now Shenandoah needs to try and find a way onto this bomb site, but bomb is planted. They are already set up. Tons of utility at the advantage, not to mention gun advantage as well from Air Force winning that last round. So a lot going in favor of Air Force as Shenandoah tries to retake here.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough retake for them with not the good guns. They do have the Sheriff, so they could look for the one-shots, but yeah, walking into a smoke there, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and we're going to see 0 Point go out from from Air Force, excuse me. CDM does get a pick on the Stray, however, a bit of light for SU. However, that is quickly fading as CDM does fall. Skinny gets a kill there. Kasim picks up a kill, but it looks like Wells will get the last kill onto Kasim. And just like that, Air Force up 2-0, but they die to the spike. That might be a big impact for this next round.
Yeah, I couldn't really see Shenandoah's econ, so I don't know exactly how much money they had left. But yeah, they went for the kind of half buy there, just pulled out the deagles, some util, and tried to just go for the win. And yeah, Shenandoah's going to have a way better buy going into this third round. So they should really hope to get a 2-1 here and maybe even reset the econ. Actually, even if they win this round, the econ for Air Force should still be good. So Shenandoah definitely is looking to win this round because if they lose this, their econ is going to be back out, and we could be easily looking at a 4-0 to start.
Yeah, definitely got to be careful about that to not let that snowball. But now Shenandoah has a chance to take a round against Air Force and try and flip things on its head. They're going to slowly peek that, but Claviella is there to find a kill onto Tyler. And now Shenandoah needs to play this safe. You don't want to get too aggressive. You don't want to push up and lose this gun advantage you have, or even give Air Force a gun for free.
Yeah, I mean, when you have the gun advantage, and now that they know they have the gun advantage, because you can see the econ on the other team before the round starts as Carter gets picked off there in wine. But that's kind of unfortunate. He probably should have played the long range knowing he has the better gun, but unfortunately the Chamber was able to walk up and get the pick on CDM there.
Yeah, and CDM did put a few bullets into him. However, Bunter is there to get a kill on Skinny. That is Duelist down for Air Force, and now one-man advantage for Shenandoah. Claviella is going to pick up a kill onto the fellow Chamber. Stray does fall for Air Force, and now Bunter is going to hear that one all day, taking out his fellow Omen right there. And now the last one has been spotted in a tree, and Claviella is going to get the kill right there. Air Force falls finally. Shenandoah takes a round on Air Force right there.
Yeah, honestly, that was nice plays out of Shenandoah there. They knew, like I said, they knew they had the gun advantage, so they just played that gun advantage and pretty much were able to clean the round pretty clean. So to be able to have 4 up at the end of the round as well is really good for their economy. So going into the next round, even if they lose it, they should be able to buy after that. So that's really big for their economy and moving forward in this game. So that was a nice round out of Shenandoah, but now Air Force is going to be able to come back with a buy, so it's going to be buy versus buy here.
Yeah, well, I did notice Air Force did slightly force on a few players, so maybe a little less utility on the side of them. CDM, 1 knife, 1 kill. Can he find another now, as he's just a menace on this jet? Does get stopped, however, by a Skinny. That's going to be Duelist on Duelist violence right there. Fade is going to try and scout out mid, but they're not really going to find anything here with any of that utility.
Yeah, and the knives going down there on CDM is kind of rough, but I don't think he bought anything coming into the round knowing that he would have knives. So even then, that's a really good strat on Jet.
Yeah.
It's when you have your knives, you don't buy a gun because your knives are pretty much better than a gun, and they get replenished. So you save money and still have the firepower. Unfortunately, he was able to get 1 pick, but went down.
Yeah, and here we see Kasim getting a pick, but immediately gets traded out, but Claviella is going to be able to find 2. However, Wells does find that kill, and now they're all alone. It does get found out by Fade. 2 health now. 1 bullet will do the trick, and there it is, the last shot in the Omen. Daichi picks up that last kill, and now things are all tied here, 2-2 for both teams.
I mean, yeah, I think already you can tell how evenly matched these teams are. These rounds aren't really coming down to just clean wipes. They're coming down to pretty close, but that was a nice play out of there from Claviella. She was able to get the trades over on the in the market side, which was absolutely massive because let's say she only gets 1 there, then it leaves it down to a 2v2. Yeah. But the fact that she was able to get 2 leaves it down to the 1v2, so makes it easier to clean up for Shenandoah. So nice
Another
play.
thing to note there was if the Omen on Air Force didn't teleport right there, that would have been a triple for Claviella, and that would have been an even deeper of issues. As speaking of issues, they're going to lose their Duelist here early on. Bunter with a great pick is going to back off now. Looks like Shenandoah is opting for these aggressive picks and then just going to back off, really trying to put pressure onto Air Force to get them to run through. And so they can catch them out. And right now, I'd say it's working fairly well.
Yeah, it's pretty effective right now as Carter gets the pick and Daichi able to get another pick. But Tyler able to get a pick over there on Bunter, so it's down to a 2v4. But yeah, Shenandoah is just playing to their strengths. Like I said, they know it's a bad buy, and they're able to just play to their strengths and get the opening picks and then play safe as Carter cleans it up with a 3K there. That was a really nice play.
Yeah, CDM right there, absolutely massive. Picking up a triple for Shenandoah as they steamroll forwards, winning their 3rd round. And that's absolutely massive for them. And now Shenandoah with full advantage heading into this next round.
Yeah, being able to go up 3-2 after losing pistols, really good for Shenandoah, and their economy's working even better. So This is looking really up for them, but Air Force, if they want to get back into this game, they're going to have to start destroying the econ of Shenandoah. So it's going to start with this round. If they're able to win this and maybe start luring that econ over on the Shenandoah side, they can easily take the lead right back.
Yeah, and now you got to be careful, though, if you're Air Force, to not let things get away. CDM does have this op, does have dash available. However, it will expire, so now he has to be careful to not get cut out too far. Claviella, no abilities on the chamber. However, CDM and Bunter finding kills right there. Revive will go up, but Bunter finds a kill again. And just like that, you blink and you'll miss it. Shenandoah takes this round.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Shenandoah's just looking really good right now. So, I mean, they were able to just clean up these rounds pretty well, and it seems like they have a good read on what Air Force is doing. I don't know if they have somebody out there maybe getting information in some way, somehow. I don't really know what's really going on the Air Force side, but Shenandoah seems like they have really good info, and they're able to know exactly where they're going and clean it up.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, this timeout by Air Force is so smart because it's like Bear mentioned, the coaches have access to these timeouts.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see more and more as the day goes along, as the pressure really starts to heat up. But, yeah, Air Force right now needs to try and control the pace of this game, because if they're not careful, they could find themselves in a very deep hole coming up. All the econ is in favor of SU.
Yep.
That last round was a full buy from them, I believe. And so now you have to be careful to not let this get away from you. And you run the risk, though, when you force buy like that. Are you going to be in a good position later on if you don't win? And so I think they're definitely trying to reconsider that right now.
Yeah, they really need to focus on trying to win these next rounds. They're going for the half save right here, or half buy, I should say, which is smart out of them. But as you can see, the Shenandoah econ is just like really good right now. They could lose 2 rounds in a row and probably still be able to buy. So if Air Force is going to want to get back into this, they're going to have to win this round, or try to win this round, or at least win the next buy round, because otherwise this could get really out of hand.
Yeah, and a lot of util just used by Air Force there that has really no benefit for them. So that's a big just moment right there for Shenandoah, and it's something to consider when you are Air Force. And now you really run the risk of trying to retake the other site, and if you do, you're missing half of your util because you used it early on in the round and got no information from it.
Yeah. Waste of util is not very good, but if the util is able to replenish, then it's normally better. But I wasn't able to really see what abilities were used, but a nice pick out of Bunter right there. So
yeah,
now it's leaving up to 3v5.
Yeah, and it looks like CDM just barely missing that op shot. Is going to pull out the shorty, though, see if anyone's going to contest him in that short range, but no one will. And it looks like Air Force is going to try and head back towards A main right here, or B main. Is it A or B?
B.
It is B, okay. And it looks like Air Force, with minimal util, is able to take this and a half buy. It's a 3v3, but Stingers, there we go. They pick up a Vandal, but Stingers and Sheriffs mostly from the side of Air Force, and now Shenandoah has to set up this retake, but they have probably the 3 best people to try and retake this site.
Yeah, it looks like they got a little too aggressive over there towards the A main or B main side and got picked off.
Yeah, Wells is going to find a kill. However, Bunter is going to be able to trade there. However, it looks like the last kill of the game is going to go to Kark. And just like that, Air Force takes a big round on a save. And that's exactly what they needed to get back into it.
Yeah, Shenandoah were able to bring it to a 5v3 there, them having 5 people, but I don't know what happened over there towards the B site, but it seems like they just kind of got taken off guard, or I don't know exactly what happened, but basically Air Force just came out and got 2 opening picks for free and brought it to the 3v3 with site control, and they were able to clean it up with nice trades at the end, which led to them winning the round. So it was a really nice play out of Air Force there, and this really helps them with their econ.
Yeah, another thing to note is CDM died with an op, and guess what? He still has an op in his hand, so if that's any indication on how well Shenandoah's econ is, that's it right there. And it looks like Stray's going to try and find a kill. Does he know he's there? CDM knows he's there as he finds the kill on to Stray. And now Shenandoah has that man advantage without losing anyone.
Yeah, it's a nice opening pick there from CDM. Leave it to the 5v4, and then he gets away. So they just play the man advantage on the defending side, and yeah.
Yeah, and here we're going to see the ultimate come out here from Fade, as well as Skinny, who's going to end up finding Daichi, but not after that. Ooh. Fade ultimate is down, and they're going to find another kill. That was an absolutely massive kill on the punter, and it looks like Wells will fall. However, Kasim going to kill him, and then now Tyler going to go down as well. But Air Force, with their last person on line, is able to take that win, and we are all back to a tied game just like that.
Yeah, I mean, Shenandoah keeps getting these opening picks, but I don't know what's really going on. But after they get the opening pick, they seem to just shut down, and I don't know whether they're not trading people out or what, but Air Force is really capitalizing off this, and even if they are a man down, they seem to be able to, reinforce, regroup with each other, and just retake these sites, even if they are down with somebody. So this is really good out of Air Force, and like I said, it's starting to bring down the econ. This might be the last round that Shenandoah can buy before their econ just goes back to being bad.
Yeah, and another thing to note is ever since Air Force took that timeout, they've won 2 rounds in a row. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. However, CDM knives are out from Jet. He's just going to try and back off, play for his life. A smart play by him. Didn't want to try and peek 2 people there, at least not with knives. Maybe if you had an op or something, you could get a collateral or maybe a Vandal headshot through someone. But unfortunately does only have those knives, so he's going to back up and try and intercept the group that is coming from mid, and he will find one, finds the second. Can he find the third? Finds 2 headshots. He's going to rush at them, and it's actually going to be Bunter who's going to be able to take out Tyler, and just like that, Shenandoah cleans 3 players off the board from Air Force.
Yeah, that's a nice play out of Carter there. He was able to get the opening picks over there, and then got the help from Tiles from, I believe it was Kasim. And they were able to clean it up there, but now Air Force is stuck in a 2v5, and are we going to see Shenandoah once again crumble with the man advantage, or are they going to be able to hold it out?
It's a little more than a man advantage. It's a full team against 2 people, so hopefully Shenandoah finds a way to not crumble in this scenario, but never say never. Weirder things have happened in this game. Speaking of which, Skinny is able to find a kill onto Daichi, and CDM using the last of his knives, but is able to survive that with 4 bullets left and 32 HP. Definitely low from him. That's 3 kills for CDM in this round. They're shooting through the smoke. They can't find him. He's just playing Ring Around the Rosie. He finds another kill. Skinny is not going to find any more kills though for the round. The time does expire right there, and Shenandoah is finally able to put a stop to Air Force's 2 unanswered after they drop 2. So it's like a back and forth right now going on.
Yeah, I mean, seems like even after they were able to get the man advantage, they were able to hold it out this time. I mean, really, Carter almost over there whiffing with the knives, and almost lost the kill over there on the A site, but he was able to pick it back up, and they were able to clean the round up. So that's good for Shenandoah to get their momentum back, get their morale back after losing those rounds where they had the man advantage. So. But hopefully Air Force looking to respond right here after getting 2 in a row.
Yeah, and CDM doing his job for sure on that duelist role. So good. And now it looks like Air Force is just going to rush on the site for free. Some of their util is down. Molly is down from the KO. Roomba is down from the Raze. So you got to be so careful about that. Skinny is sitting in that corner. Is he going to see that gun barrel? Not quite. And you think Shenandoah knows that he's in that corner?
I don't know if they know, but if they wanted to, they should definitely clear with util. And
they definitely
did not know.
They definitely know
but they
now.
Get the picks.
Yeah, they get the kills, just absolutely massive. Kasim and Bunter using their teammate as a bait right there. I'm getting some flashbacks to CSGO. That would usually be my role in that scenario. And speaking of which, however, Shenandoah is going to clear that site completely. An amazing retake there from Shenandoah. That's absolutely massive, especially given the fact that Air Force had all 5 people alive when they were able to take that site.
Yeah, it turned into just a classic 5v5 retake scenario. Yeah, I say classic, but it's not really seen very much, where you just get a site for free in a full gun round, and it turns into a 5v5 retake. But it looks like Shenandoah was able to get the opening picks on the retake, and nobody could, from the Air Force side could really trade it out. Yeah. So they pretty much got picks for free, gave them the main advantage, and then just retook the rest of the site with their util. And it was a nice play out of Shenandoah, despite giving them the site with 5 people up.
Yeah, and just like that, Shenandoah finds themselves back up by 2 rounds, which has been absolutely massive for them this whole game. And it's kind of been a story. Both teams never had a lead larger than 2.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just like one of those weird number things, you know? I don't know how closely you follow scoregami in like the NFL or something like that, where it's like the number of unique scores. I believe they're at over 1,000 different combinations. So it's just neat number stuff like that. Shenandoah has the 2-round advantage after losing 2 rounds, after winning 2 rounds, after losing 2 rounds. It's just, it's back and forth. There's a lot of
it could end it
going
right
on.
Here,
yeah,
depending on the buy from Air Force. And,
yeah, and that's a big pick there by Stray on to Bunter. And now that is the smokes offline for Shenandoah. That's something to consider going forward.
Yeah, it's something to consider when they're going into a retake. But if they're able to stop the push from Air Force and not have to force themselves into a retake scenario, then they could be fine. But if it ever does come down to a retake, it is going to be hard not having those smokes.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And now it looks like Air Force has picked what site they want to try and go to, but CDM's going to do his best to try and lock him down. However, he will fall to Kark with multiple ops in favor of Shenandoah, but those are dropping fast, and Skinny is going to get onto site. Claviella is going to be able to find the kill onto Wells. Now 3v2 for SU. Also, time's running down. They have 10 seconds to plant. There we go. They're finally planting now. Definitely ran it a little bit close right there.
Yeah, they ran it a little close, but I think they were just making sure everything was clear. They wanted to have the whole site clear, maybe even also clear boat out. But yeah, so they were able to get the bomb down, leaving up to a 1v3 now. Even with Claviella with their ult here, this is going to be really tough. Nice shot, though.
That's a massive, massive pick, especially to switch off of the ultimate in the tour de force. And unfortunately, won't be able to find that last kill. That's going to be a team ace for Air Force. Every single person on that team got a kill that round. Really goes to show how good their teamwork is. And if we take a look back at some of these kills, Claviella with an amazing, amazing shot right there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find that last pick. They had the crosshair on him, just wasn't scoped in. Rather unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a nice shot out of Claviella, but yeah, Air Force with a nice round there. Everybody contributing and just getting the picks that they needed to be able to take the site. And it all started with that Omen pick. After that, they pretty much opened up the B site because Omen tends to play over towards the B side. So they were able to regroup over back towards B, take the site, and win the round pretty convincingly.
Yeah, and Haunt is going to find 2 of the players lurking there for Air Force as they try and maybe default a little bit. Another thing to note is Omen is one-shot Kasim. Cannot find that last pick. Bunter on 8 HP. Got to be so careful about that. But on the other side of the Air Force, their Omen's on 1 shot. So both Omens just kind of not really being able to do much besides provide smoke coverage. I mean, I guess you could say CDM can do it, but look how long those last. That's not going to really smoke anything except maybe a quick cover across. As CDM just needs to find 1 bullet onto that Omen. Can't quite find it. Is going to toss down one of his smokes. Is going to go up onto the thing. Can't quite find the last little bit onto Skinny. Tyler is going to find a kill. However, Daichi is able to take out the Omen. That is smokes offline for Air Force. Haunt is going to go down. Not going to find anything. Is going to send out that Haunt, but that also isn't going to find anything. And now they're going to try push Daichi, and they will find a kill for it, leaving Bunter on 8 HP as the last one alive.
Yeah, I think this is going to require a miracle for him to win this round, but it looks like he's going to just walk away and save here maybe, but he might go for it, but I don't know how likely it is with 8 HP.
I will say an Air Force win would not only is it last round, but it would also secure the 2-2 we have seen from both teams. Smoke is going to go out. He's just going to try and run across. He's going to get shot out of midair at 1 HP. And just like that, Air Force is going to go into the half at even.
Yeah, it's gonna go into the half at 6-6. It was pretty even on this side, but with the changes recently I say changes, but Ascent has only had minor changes throughout. It's been pretty even. They haven't really had to make many changes to it, so it's been a pretty even when it comes to attacker side or defender side. It's been pretty even, so 6-6 is pretty normal, and it just goes to show how close these teams really are in terms of skill levels. So I'm excited for the second half. We could very well be looking at an overtime, depending on if your 2-2 theory ends up being correct. So.
Yeah, well, if the 2-2 theory is correct, when we get to 13, someone should have a one. So we'll be in an infinite game theorem.
Well, it should only go to one overtime if the 2-2 theory ends up being correct. Because
it's only one overtime. Yeah, good point. Yeah. So we saw how these teams were on attack and defense. Let's see how they are when the roles are reversed for each side. Bunter knows that Skinny is there. Bunter's going to take them out. And now Shenandoah with control of the site, with full team as well, I might add. 2 teleports available for Bunter. Claviella has 4 shots on that Sheriff, there. And now Shenandoah has a chance to try and get this, but Claviella can't quite find the bullets right there. And now Bunter gonna survive on 9 HP yet again. That seems to be a common theme for the past few rounds.
Yeah, Bunter seems to always be on the low HP, but that's kind of a good thing. It means he's staying alive despite getting some damage under them. And yeah, there you go. Kasim and Bunter pick up the last kills there to finish the round. And your 2-2 theory is really looking good here.
I might need to publish this thing.
Yeah, I don't know, write a book or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
give me my doctorate right now. No, but in all seriousness, though, what a great round there by SU. They get the early pick on the Skinny. That's a lot of early damage utility offline, and Bunter doing a great job of staying alive. I believe he lived the whole time. And now SU is poised to win this round. Theoretically, we're not going to write things off just quite yet, but they do have the advantage going into this. But again, that's my 2-2 theory. So we'll see what happens with that.
It's looking good for SU here because Air Force did look like they full saved here, which is you tend to see a 4 spot in the second round sometimes, the way the econ is, but they decided to go for the full save, so Shenandoah's looking to win this round.
Yeah, and that Haunt is going to find someone. Bunter and CDM are going to find it. Kills that flash so good onto Stray, and just like that, that shotgun doesn't kill there. Skinny does end up getting a nade kill, however. That's so unfortunate. I feel like that's what happens whenever I use the shotguns, is everyone gets left at one shot.
He only ended up getting 1 shot out of the shorty there, so kind of unfortunate. Maybe the second one would have put him down, but unfortunately, it just was not enough. But the grenade was able to finish him off. But now in a 1v4 situation with a classic, it's going to be kind of rough, and Shenandoah's going to really look to take the 8th round here.
Yeah, and Skinny going to try and look for a miracle. Speaking of look, I believe he was spotted there by Claviella, and there it is. Bunter is going to find the kill on the Skinny, and Shenandoah, just like that, takes 2 rounds yet again. So we'll see if finally Shenandoah can break this 2-2 curse that's been going on the whole game.
Yeah. Well, even though Air Force was able to, or lost that round, it was a pretty good play out of them. They decided to pretty much stack over towards that A site, stack over towards Cat, and Shenandoah decided to push there, and they just unfortunately got all the kills. But honestly, if Air Force just had maybe even slightly better guns there, they easily could have won that round because
for sure,
they stacked the right spot. Shenandoah just has the better gun power and better utility.
Yeah, and it looks like CDM is going to set up his dash, is going to smoke into the dash, but Stray, it's Skinny. Skinny's going to find 3, actually, and Bunter is going to be able to find 2 kills, however, but the damage has been done. Bunter the last alive for SU. Blink and you might miss it. And SU not in a good spot right here as they try and break the curse, but at this rate, it's not going to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you put a curse onto this match or you did some witchcraft before. I don't know. I didn't see him do anything, but it's just still this 2-2 is coming back, and Air Force takes another round, leaving it to 8-7. And I mean, I'm trying to do the math in my head. I'm thinking who would win the overtime if this 2-2 theory ends up going correct. Because it would be.
I believe if SU doesn't have a round,
it would be Air Force.
I believe so, because Air Force had that round where they let time expire and kept someone alive, whereas every single round since, other than that one time, there's been a full team wipe. Yeah. So I think Air Force does. I believe it goes into what is the tiebreakers actually? Do you know what are the tiebreakers if it does go into overtime? Like who gets attack, who gets defense?
It stays the same way it is now. So SU would start on attack for overtime, and then it would swap after that.
Okay. So that is going to be something to consider as we go into this.
If it does go to.
Yeah, and at the rate it's going, it might. Bunter is going to sit by the log pile, and Shenandoah is going to be able to plant for free again. That's the second time we've seen it. Full gun buy and a free open site
5v5
for the team. So now it's going to
be broken here.
Yeah, it's 5v5 retake. Don't say anything yet, Brian. Casting Curse is the speciality of Shenandoah, and I know that all too well. Skinny and Stray going to find kills. Skinny's going to ult into the back part of the site. Skinny is going to find another just like that. That's a perfect retake. I told you, Brian, to not say anything, and here you go saying it. And now the curse continues. A flawless retake by Air Force after giving up site. Absolutely just a masterful performance on how to utilize your utility right there.
Yeah, I mean, this game has been so close. It is just literally coming down to the wire every time. Except for that round, I mean, they just retake flawlessly there, and we're able to keep 5 alive. That was really nice out of Air Force, but I mean, this just shows how even this game really is. Like, just 2-2, back and forth, back and forth. It's very rare that you see that, so it just shows that the skill level really is, like, on the same level, and it just comes down to team play at this point. And as Xander and Bear were saying before this game started, is that, what was I going to say?
I don't know. What was
like? Oh, they were saying that they have both only been together for 3 months each. So I mean, it just comes down to whose team play is better.
Yeah, and right now it's deadlocked. I mean, ever since Shenandoah had the 4 in a row, it's been 2 rounds every single time. So it's just weird. It's just one of those weird things. But I mean, that is how Valorant tends to go, is you have these momentum swings throughout the game. So I think as we get closer and closer towards that 13 mark, we'll see a team start to maybe break away in this scenario, and we'll just have to wait and see which one of those teams that is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking your curse is actually going to be broken here, as Air Force might get a 3 in a row here, but no caster curse.
You need to stop saying it.
No. I'm going to keep saying it until it happens, and then I'm going to be like, you see, I told you, I was right.
Yeah, probably after like the 5th time of you saying it.
Still counts.
Sure, but sure it does. But yeah, Air Force right now on this defense, can see if Skinny can catch them out. Does find the pick on the Claviella. That's a lot of good util down. Stray is going to find a kill. Bunter is also going to find one and needs to pick up a Vandal at 4 HP. Doesn't quite pick it up. Bomb is going to go down and need to plant in this scenario. And now Stray is going to try and push Bunter. And there we go, Brian. You get to say, I told you so.
I told you so. I told you so, Will. I knew it was going to happen.
First try. Yeah, I don't want to hear from you. But no, great round there by Air Force. 3 left on the board. That's great for not only Econ, but you also pull ahead in this scenario. So Shenandoah definitely needs to try and take a step back and maybe save a round, because Econ's got to be getting low for them.
Yeah, I can't see the Econ right now, but I'm assuming that Shenandoah did save there. So yeah, they saved, so they're going to be able to bring out the full buy here. No op, though, on their side, on the attacking side, which is not as important as the defending side. So that's okay, but yeah, going into this next round, SU is really going to have to try and get this round, because they need to bring not only their econ back, but Air Force's econ down. So it's a really important round.
Yeah, definitely something to be careful about. And another thing to note is, while you say the op isn't as important, it's still a point in it's still a 1 shot to the upper body. So that's something to consider. Stray gets legged down to 30 HP, is able to actually go out with his life, and Daichi not going to find anyone with that haunt, and Shenandoah kind of just having this mid-control. See where they decide to go for this. They can go in many, many ways. We're going to see Kark use his ultimate here on the people on CAD. If I'm Shenandoah, I'm backing up off of this.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to commit to it, though, which is kind of rough because they have no util because of the KO ult coming out. They can't really cross here, so looks like they're just going to wait it out and now execute it. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, no point is expired. Abilities are online, and they are able to find the kill. However, Air Force right now absolutely just rolling in this one. And now it's all down to Claviella as they try and get that kill, but Stray, after being shot down to 30 HP, has lived the whole time and is able to get the final kill of the game. And right now, Air Force on their own 4 streak now.
Yeah, I mean, SU, like, after they got up Cat there and they were able to get ulted, they knew that at least 3 or 4 of them were there, and they decided to still commit to that. But at that point, after they find out you were there, they were able to delay you so much, they were able to set up to get a crossfire over towards the tree site over there, or the tree part of the map over there, and it just left for easy trades for Air Force, which made the round fairly simple for them because they were able to just delay with that KO ult.
Yeah,
so, maybe SU should have looked to pull out there and maybe rethink about where they wanted to go, but instead committed to it, and Air Force was ready.
Yeah, but at the same time, if they had succeeded in that, we wouldn't be saying that. So I guess it's all in hindsight. And right now, Air Force doing a great job of keeping SU from being able to push, utilizing their utility as best they can. Claviella was spotted earlier on in the round. We're going to see a fade ult on the side of SU. A lot of ults being used. We see jet ult, fade ult, and now we see a double kill with the nade coming out there from Skinny, who has been so good for Air Force. And yep, and there's that precise gunplay that we know and love in Valorant. And now a 1v1, Skinny on 11, Claviella on full HP. However, they both have a Vandal, so it doesn't really matter if you get you just got to go for a headshot if you are Skinny. And if you're Claviella, just hit him. You just got to hit him.
Yeah, going for the fake plant there, but it looked like he was trying to run back over towards the B side, but then heard the fake plant and is starting to walk back over, so it's going to be a straight-up 1v1 here.
Yeah, Claviella's got to keep an eye on that upper spot. Oh, Skinny isn't able to quite find it, goes and has that tour de force, but it was switching to it in the middle of the open. I don't know what that's about. Maybe try and just hold that angle, and is going to use the blast pad to get down, however, planted out in the open. And now you got to be careful. Trademark is down. And no, Claviella can't quite do it. Skinny with 4, 1 away from the ace. Air Force with a massive win there. Claviella just barely falling short there for Shenandoah.
Yeah, I don't know if there was not a call that the Raze was low HP or what really happened, but I don't know why the tour de force was brought out when she knew that he was 1 HP, but I don't know if that's just bad comms on the SU side or what, but yeah, the Raze was a really nice play, playing with the 1 HP, was able to play the game out and get the 1v1 win despite being 1 HP against the full HP Claviella.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunate right there from SU. That's a heartbreaker, and that might be the last nail in the coffin. Momentum fully in the favor of Air Force in this one. And now Shenandoah needs to try and take this round, because if they do, or if they don't, sorry, that's going to be match point.
Yeah, it's a nice pick from CDM though.
Yeah, CDM with the massive pick. However, Skinny just doing so well. Bunter is going to find a kill. Is going to find 2, actually. Excuse me, right there. Yeah, and maybe gets the res. Stabilizing core from a CDM on to Kasim is going to keep him alive. And now that's massive, because now that's a man advantage for Shenandoah as they try and defend this bomb site.
Yeah, that's really big. He died in a good spot, dare I say, and was able to get the res off, but here comes a retake now.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Kark absolutely massive with this Phantom. Flash is going to go out from both KOs. Bomb down. Has to be careful about this if you are Kasim. However, if you're holding that angle, there's only one other place the guy can go. So if you're Kasim, you definitely hear him drop down, and there it is. Kasim with a massive win, and now the round difference back to 2 as Shenandoah tries and take this one.
Yeah, that was a nice angle there from Kasim at the end as well. with the angle that he has, he's able to hear if the guy drops down on the right, so he gets that sound cue. But if the guy comes from the left, he just has a nice head glitch angle over that box in the middle of the site onto the stairs. So that's generally a favored position when you're into the 1v1 there at the end. And he played it perfectly, got the headshot, and cleaned it up for SU there to bring it back within 2.
Yeah, and we're actually going to see a timeout from Shenandoah, so they're maybe using that last round as kind of maybe a, hey, we're still in this momentum. Maybe we might be able to start playing tug of war with that a bit, start bringing it back towards us. And knowing them, I'm sure they're getting some coaching from is Nando over there?
Coach Nando.
Is Coach Nando over there? I don't think
he was over there. Maybe he left.
He might be in Discord as well. Who knows? I know he's playing on Shenandoah B team.
But they are unfortunately eliminated. So
no, it's there's a losers bracket.
Oh, okay.
So they're not out.
They're
it's double elim. It's double elim. Hey, now getting a little ahead of yourself. But yeah, no, they knowing this team and really just Shenandoah esports in general, I wouldn't be surprised to see it come back here.
Yeah. The comeback kids.
Yeah, it's happened way too much for our school, and it's just it just gives us heart attacks casting, Call of Duty especially. But we'll see if Valorant follows that trend as they try and crawl back in this one, but that's not going to help things. Smokes are down from the attacker side. Absolutely massive pick there by Air Force onto Bunter. And now Shenandoah, missing their smokes, has to try and take one of these sites.
Yeah, nice opening pick from the Jet. Who you generally like to see is Chamber Jet getting out, or sorry, not the Jet, the Chamber, just getting out there and getting the opening picks because he can teleport out after getting the opening pick, and it just makes it really free.
Yeah, and now it's just a game of cat and mouse as Air Force is just going to cover these angles and just wait. And now Shenandoah needs to try and make a move. But it looks like they're still trying to default. It has to be careful. Under 45 seconds now in the game for them. We're gonna see some util be used, and maybe Shenandoah gonna try and pick a site to go to.
Yeah, kind of playing the slow game, waiting for an opening pick, maybe for an overextension from Air Force, but they're not giving them anything to look at, and is playing super passive after they got that opening pick, which is generally a good play to make because you have the main advantage. There's no reason to overpeak and take your time and wait for the other team to push into you with the lesser man.
Yeah, and you got to be careful here. Coming out of B main, Stray is watching that like a bloodhound. And now, there it is, the collateral! Stray, absolutely massive kills right there. CDM does take him out, but we see a collateral come out. They line up perfectly. Time expires. Shenandoah had it in the palm of their hand from the last round, and they let it slide just like that. So unfortunate from Shenandoah, but a great play by Air Force there. They find the opening pick and just wait.
Yeah, they play the slow game, and like I said, they wait for them to come into them with the disadvantage being down a man already, and they were also down their smokes, and they knew that. Their smokes got eliminated right at the start of the round, so Shenandoah doesn't have any smokes but the jet smokes when coming in, and jet smokes aren't as effective when you're executing onto a site, so Air Force knew that. They saw they had no smokes, played the advantage, waited for SU to come into them, and yeah, the chamber goes absolutely massive with a collateral there, and they just clean up the round really easy.
Yeah, another thing I want to note is Skinny on the side of Air Force has 26 kills right now.
Wow.
I mean, absolutely phenomenal. And when it comes to an individual performance, that's about as good as you want it to be. You can't ask for much more, and that's a massive fatal that might be able to be utilized to their advantage if they use a Prowler, but it looks like they're going to elect to not.
Yeah, once again, kind of playing slow. The T side from SU that I've always really watched, they tend to really play a super slow T side or attacking side, and it seems to not be playing in the advantage for Air Force, as they seem to enjoy when the other team plays slow. I don't know, they seem to thrive in it really as they get another opening pick.
Yeah, and right now I think they made that adjustment at halftime, and it's kind of worked out for them. CDM is going to try and run on the site, is going to die. Daichiki going to find the kill onto Wells. Bunter going to find a kill, but he's going to get
2v2
taken out now. 2v2, and there goes Bunter. Smokes offline. Last one is Claviella, and now pincer formation going to be activated. However, Claviella is going to be able to find a kill on the Skinny. Can Can Clappy find the last kill, but Stray with the final kill is going to put the cherry on top for Air Force. They managed to finally break that curse that we had, and a big win there by Air Force. A close game. Can't ask for much more after, because, I mean, going into it, we wanted a close game, and we got it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it seemed like the first person who was going to break the curse was going to end up being the one who won the game, and that's exactly what happened. Air Force, they broke the curse, and they ended up winning the game and cleaning it up. So really nice game out of them. They played really methodically. They played behind their picks, and they cleaned it up really nice. And it was super solid plays out of them, and that's what got them the win at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, it's as you mentioned, when they played slow, I think that was when they were able to be – they were at their best. I mean, they were able to take advantage of early picks as well. They kind of did what Shenandoah was doing, but flipped it on its head. Yeah. And it worked to a teeth, and it seemed like Shenandoah, when they got hit with that, they were kind of panicking, not really knowing what to do to try and adjust to it. So I think having that adjustment by Air Force was absolutely massive and was pretty much the reason why they ended up winning it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Air Force, despite only being together for 3 months, it seems like their play together is pretty nice. They seem to they play off each other really well. They play the trades really well, and that's like the big thing when it comes to Valorant. You want to get those trades because having that main advantage on even the attacking side, even if it's even on the attacking side, you're pretty much disbanding how many people the defenders can put on one site, and Air Force was able to take advantage of that and had really nice executes, and they cleaned it up.
Yeah, and that was such a good game. I for one, cannot wait for the rest of the games, because the games are just going to get better and better as the day goes along. But that's going to be it from me and Brian. Analyst Desk, take it away to you guys. Good luck analyzing that one.
Thank you, and welcome back. As I mentioned earlier today, we have a new person here.
Hello.
We were bringing back Smash at some time when we got an update. It's Smash time, and so
it's Smash time.
We have Alexander T. Kresek, Shenandoah University's resident Smash knowledge gold pot. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, basically, right? You know, I have the privilege, the honor of being able to cast most of our Smash matches, so I'm super excited. It's not Melee; it will be Ultimate. Unfortunately, if it was Melee, I feel like Bear, you would probably be more in your realm. But on the other hand, we are going to be seeing some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is awesome because I love seeing this game, especially when we have a LAN environment to play it and we're not necessarily forced to be playing online. But wow, really quickly, that was an amazing Valorant match. I think when you and I saw the half, it was 6-6, and seeing that Air Force was going into the defense, we know that Ascent is so defense heavy. We kind of figured it was favored to Air Force. SU did their best to kind of try to hold up, try to make something happen, but they did win the pistol round. They were kind of winning those ecos at first, and then Air Force, they got one round, and that's all they needed. Just kept winning over and over again. That was like 4 or 5 rounds in a row that they just were able to take.
I think it was exactly what me and Xander prefaced before, where it's for the tales of the two teams, where SU always gets close.
Yep.
They get there. They might need, maybe you win one more round before the half. Maybe you win one more of those 1v1s, right? And that brings you to the overtime to maybe bring you over the hump. But it just didn't get there. And then I think for Air Force, it's what it's been, right? You play for that halftime. That's a big adjustment. You know that you're going to be favored if you're defense-sided in the second half. So we'll trade 6-6 any day, right? We know we could have that advantage. And they played to it. So I think that was exactly what we wanted to see from Air Force, very close to what we wanted to see from SU.
Yeah, and we were talking about this a little bit back in the analyst desk back here, but while we were watching it, SU was getting those peaks. They were seeing first. They were getting the positioning. They just kept, unfortunately, dropping those kills. They were missing the headshots. They weren't getting really what they needed to make that space to make those impact frags. And unfortunately, for SU, Air Force was just able to be faster. They were able to hit those shots. They were just so clean with it. Of course, the chat loves Stray, who has been popping off on that chamber. Yeah. Always good to see a very good, competent chamber. So that was a treat for sure.
If Stray has a fan, I am a fan. Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it before for the previous losing teams. That is the benefit of the double elimination bracket is you can get your first round jitters out of the way, right?
Exactly.
SU is this close to picking up the win. Now they have a full losers bracket to go through. They're not even close to being done.
Nope, they got to fight through everyone now.
So I think That'll be good for Valorant. We'll be back after Smash to cover more Valorant.
Yep.
I think we're going to be seeing a semifinals with Army against Coast Guard, and then Navy versus Air Force with that victory. So we'll be sure to update you as more info comes in. But now we could talk about Smash.
Now we can talk about Smash. All right, very excited. I don't know what exactly we're going to see here. I'm hoping we're going to see a little bit unorthodox characters. Of course, especially right now in the Ultimate climate, we're seeing a lot of characters like Steve, Pyramithra, Joker still. Those are kind of like the main characters that you're going to see a lot of. Particularly Steve has been in contention a lot recently. There's been a lot of controversy as to whether or not this character should be banned or whether or not people just don't know how to play against them. So, you know, there's been a lot of back and forth with that. We're not quite sure, unfortunately. But it looks like game 1 is going to be a ZSS versus Kirby. And we're going on to the Battlefield variation of Kalos. Now, maybe this might be just a button check as the players are checking, making sure they got the controls. Actually, we're just starting it off. Interesting choice for the Kirby. Getting the grab, going for the forward throw instead of going for forward air, trying to just confirm with the down air. Of course, that down air is able to get some things happening. And there we go, Kirby with the inhale.
We got that ponytail, dog.
going for the taser blast from ZSS. Of course, that does stun for a second. The longer you charge it, the longer that player is stunned, especially if they're at higher percent. But yeah, a very interesting matchup here. These players are just going back and forth. We're going to see 2 whiffed up Bs, unfortunately, but that's all right. Again, I feel like these players are just trying to feel each other out. And as I said, ZSS feeling their way out off the stage.
Yeah, this is a pretty peculiar matchup, I'd say. I think Kirby really struggles against a lot of the ranged characters in the game, and ZSS could really keep foes at bay if she wants to.
Yeah, exactly, right? So one of the downsides about Kirby is really the slower movement speed. Kirby, not the slowest, but definitely doesn't have the fastest grounded movement options, so they will struggle against characters like ZSS who are so fast, who have that frame 2 jab, who have the ability to just get in, combo Kirby. Again, Kirby, a floaty character, kind of benefits ZSS in that regard, especially with those up air combos into the up B. Can really work. Good DI, though. Able to live that 120. Kirby, not very heavy. Will die fairly early and is going to die off the top with that. ZSS tying it back up. 84% for Kirby, though. This is a good percentage to start. The side B, just going to go through the forward tilt. Take it out ZSS, and there we go. Kirby in the lead, just 9%. Going for the rock. Early percent, it is a pretty risky move, but if you're able to catch your opponent off guard, like we see Kirby doing here, is able to rack up some percentage, just a little under 50% on that ZSS. So really trying to make something happen here. Going for the inhale again. Really wants the ZSS neutral B.
Yeah, dude, you got to blast that stun gun. Keeps him at bay, man. I'm getting a lot of flashbacks to like Melee on Hyrule Temple right now. We're seeing some classic Kirby down Bs. It's nostalgic.
It is indeed nostalgic. Yes, that's a good word for it, for sure. Yeah, you know what? You're right. There we go. Kirby dropping off the platform, getting the side B kill. ZSS dies off the top. I mean, honestly, the move, especially when it's fully charged up, does have a ton of knockback. So really able to make something happen. The thing is typically Kirby, as we said, already a slow character, gets even slower with the hammer out.
Yeah, I think it's the travesty of Kirby ever since Smash 64, where he has continually been nerfed and his comparable companions have been getting buffed. So if you nerf his hitboxes, you nerf his move speed on the ground, you move his air mobility, then you just have Jigglypuff right next door. I think one of the fastest air mobilities in at least in 64, Melee, and Brawl.
Yep.
So even when you're slow on the ground, you're not even fast in the air, right? Like
exactly. Oh, but here we go. Jumping into another matchup already. We're analyzing the Kirby versus ZSS, but they've given us a different matchup. We've got Donkey Kong versus Sora from Kingdom Hearts. This is a really interesting matchup. We don't get to see this a lot. Sora, very floaty. will die fairly early, but again, nearly impossible to gimp. Has so much recovery options, has so much flight, and has that combo potential. A lot of multi-hit moves on the forward air, on the forward tilt, really just allows Sora to get a lot of combos, particularly against Donkey Kong, who is one of the easiest characters in the game to get some combos started. But the problem is Sora's been struggling to get in and get some consistent hits and things like that, right? Donkey Kong's armor on the side B will allow him to survive through things like that up B.
Yeah, I think the name of the game for at least a Donkey Kong here is really punishing off of neutral openings.
Right.
So if you get that grab, you throw it into that cargo throw it up, you need to connect those up airs. I think that's going to be the major bread and butter. As you said, Sora is quite floaty, a light character, dies off the top really early, can't be gimped. So I think that's really where you're going to need to divert your attention.
Absolutely. I mean, this Donkey Kong player just throwing out the fist, the donkey punch, just trying to hit as much as possible, and it is working out. Especially something that you got to be worried about that Sora is if you side B, you can SD off the edge. So you have to be very careful about that, not let yourself fall to that trap, of course. And 85% on Sora, trying to get the counter. Sora's counter is a bit strange, but are we gonna? We could have seen a down smash or an up smash, but unfortunately not able to get it. And the spacing, not quite exactly what that Sora wanted.
Yeah, this spacing is going to be the big learning game for this stock right now for Sora. Donkey Kong has so many just in-your-face moves, or get-off-me moves, right? You could use that down B, pound the ground, get him out of there. You could just keep throwing the donkey punches. It's hard to approach if you approach from the wrong side at the wrong time.
Yeah, and so another thing that we see out of the Sora is we see a lot of that side B, the little dash that Sora has. There we go, we're seeing it again. It is a good kind of quick option. Ooh, gonna run into that forward smash. It's like we were saying, Sora does, like, that's a good quick option to get just a little bit of percentage, but it leaves you so open if you're not not able to get that first hit or finish it off. Sora has better opening opportunities, especially neutral B, where you have the flames, the lightning, the blizzard, whatever. You have a little bit more zoning options, and then of course Sora down tilt leads into a plethora of combo trees. So we could be seeing more of that. Even dash attack has its place in the combo as well. We're going to get the back hit of forward smash from Sora, and Donkey Kong, again, just going to armor through anything that Sora tries to throw out with that side B. Really a very good option for Donkey Kong. Strange interaction here. Up smash will get Donkey Kong in the air, but Sora's not able to capitalize on it. And air dodge in, Sora, it will be able to capitalize on that for sure. Donkey Kong, not sure what they're trying to do, get around. The jab, interesting choice. This may kill Sora, is so light. The DI was a little suspect, but that will kill for sure. And Donkey Kong takes his game number 2.
Yeah, I think that is a good game for Donkey Kong, but I think Sora was putting it together just a little bit too late.
Yeah,
I think their neutral approach was kind of similar to like a Sonic with like the homing attack, where you just keep using that side B to get those triple hits, and then you're already moving out of the way to be in a safe spot. It's just converting once you get Donkey Kong to that 80-90%. What are you going to do? You can't keep using the side Bs because it'll never kill.
Right.
And that's when I think we saw the F smash that came out, and that's when the option kind of working on positioning. And that's kind of sad to see. It came out a little bit too late.
A little too. Actually, you just mentioned Sonic, so we do get to see Sonic versus Sora, and homing attack is coming out here. Not much Sora could do. Oh, actually going to be able to jab through it, interestingly enough. Well, we are going to see the side B as well, and this is really where you can tell where that Sonic level is. Do they know how to cancel with the... Oh my gosh, both these players SDing. Oh my goodness. Oh no, you hate to see it for sure.
It's a sign of respect. The game's even.
Yeah, the homie stock, immediately both players just saying, oh, that was just a warm-up for that first stock. We don't need it in order to win. And now it's very even. Both these players just throwing out moves. A lot of their homing moves.
Yeah.
With Sora on the side B and Sonic on the neutral B is able to get that counter that they were trying so hard to get against Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I think it's really just going to be who can convert after these early middle stock options. It's going to be this 80 to 90%. What are you going to do? How are you going to approach? It seems that Sora has been kind of looking for that grounded entry by the opponent. So I'm standing here, air dodge into me, homing attack into me, try to jab into me, maybe even clank, and if not, I'll just hit you with one of my smash attacks.
Yep, exactly. And we are seeing a little bit of movement from both of the players. I know it seems like a lot of the players that we have here haven't really liked to throw out the shield button. They want to be really aggressive, and homing attack is going to kill Sonic. That's so sad. Very unfortunate, not able to get the up B in time, accidentally air dodging instead. But with that, Sora does take the lead. 124 though. Sonic back air, forward smash, maybe even back throw could potentially take the stock here. So not down and out just yet. Sonic still has the opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the sour part of their neutral plans here, where once you connect the homing attack, it's pretty free %. But if you do miss it, you're just flying off the stage.
Yes, exactly. And I think the homing attack has its time and place in the Sonic kit. It's not a move that we see often or a lot, because that side B just allows you to get so much more. You can follow it up with aerials. You can just do more out of that side B if you jump out of it once you hit the opponent. But trying to get that kill, has to be careful. May end up SDing it again like the homing attack. So you got to be careful with these fast moves from Sonic.
Yeah, now we see this really high rage, max rage Sora here. I'd be scared if I was Sonic. Oh, luck's out.
I don't think I've ever seen homing attack kill quite in that fashion, but a great job from the Sonic player to just play aggressively, play up there near the top of the stage, able to make something happen. The footstool comes out. Oh no, what a very sad interaction that happened there. Side B was out. Sonic wasn't able to cancel out of it in time, so just kind of flew past ledge.
Yeah, just live by the spin, die by the spin.
Absolutely.
Live by the homing attack, die by the homing attack. It's just how it goes, right? It's unwieldy at times.
Yup, exactly. And so that's something you have to be careful. Either if you're Sora or Sonic, you have to be so careful about these attacks that can lock you in those animations, especially those attacks that'll lead you to free fall, like Sora's side B. Free fall, you just are not able to do anything act out of it. Of course, Sonic's homing attack does allow you to do something out of it. It's just, it has a lot of ending lag, so you're just locked in that animation for a very, very long time, and you may not realize that you can up B after that.
Yeah, especially with the up B, if you're pushed too far off the ledge, it's mainly vertical, so it's hard to even get to the stage if you're prepared to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go. Another matchup. I love how quickly we're just getting these matchups and how diverse they are as well. Lucas versus Piranha Plant. Lucas, really one of those characters that has survived very well on the Wi-Fi era of Smash Ultimate, just because of, you know, their ability to throw out moves like the PK Fire. Piranha Plant, an interesting character, originally was looked at as one of the worst characters in the game, kind of alongside of Ganondorf, Little Mac, things like that. But I think now has kind of worked their way up to being in like the middle of the low tiers. So has some opportunities. We're just going to see a random up B, trying to get away from the Lucas because the oppression from this Lucas. Also, something that happened very early in that Piranha Plant meta was up being just off the top. So this may be what this Piranha Plant's trying to do, trying to predict a jump in or a roll in and up B the Lucas to his death.
Yeah, like a good old Peach Parasol, I think, in Smash 4, where if you had the Peach Parasol off the top at 0%, they can knock you right off the top and you're dead.
Yup.
Yeah, I think Piranha Plant had a bit of a resurgence as well with, if I think correctly, there's a few players who are like hidden bosses that play on the Joy-Cons. Like, I think I've seen single Joy-Con Piranha Plants win tournaments.
Single Joy-Con Piranha Plants? I've heard of players playing Joy-Cons, but not single Joy-Cons.
I think there might have been a New England hidden boss who would just show up to locals with a single Joy-Con and just win his Piranha Plant.
You know, as crazy as that is, I believe it, especially in the New England area. That tri-state area up there is just crazy. They have some of the best players in the country, so understandable that they just have a crazy player that just with single Joy-Cons Piranha Plant.
Yeah, like back in the day, running the sideways Wiimote in Brawl.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. And you know, Piranha Plant does have things in their kit. Obviously, the Patui very, very strong. The side B, that poison gas, so strong. The down B also has armor on it as well. So there's things that Piranha Plant can do. Up smash kills fairly early. So Piranha Plant does have options, does have kill potential. They're just a little slower, has a weird hitbox. They do have good grabs, as we're seeing here. Not going to be able to find anything from it. A little damage there. Going for these uppies and is finding them. Just racking up damage. Not going to find that. Has to be very, very careful. At this percentage, Piranha Plant can die from a Lucas back throw, and that is something that you got to be worried about. Or the ice. You got to be so careful about that if your match game is not strong. But forward smash will take the Lucas. 142% on the Piranha Plant. Can die from practically anything at this point.
Yeah, I think we've been pretty fortunate these last two matches to see two characters you might not see as much.
Yeah.
Who play almost very similarly in certain situations in the game. I think Sonic and Sora can have very similar neutral game plans. Whereas here, I think both Lucas and Piranha Plant could be devastating on the ledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, ledge trapping is so good. We didn't necessarily get to see too much of it, but you're right. Both of these characters, Lucas and Piranha Plant, are able to just keep players on the ledge or keep them around that ledge area, where Piranha Plant is just threatening with the spike ball. Lucas has some of the best, longest-lasting hitboxes.
Throw the little yo-yo thing.
That's Ness, actually.
Oh, which one does Lucas have?
Lucas has a down smash that kind of is like light, basically, and it has several hits, so if you hit it, you basically die. But yes, Ness does have the yo-yo that they just hang over the edge, and if you touch it, you just get knocked back ever so slightly.
Gain more percent.
Exactly. And here we go. We are going to see Kirby versus Sora. Kirby does start out with that forward throw into the down air. It's an interesting choice, but of course, Kirby, one of those characters that you might not expect, it has a pretty versatile combo tree. And that is a part of it. The question is, can they get more out of that combo? I think typically what people do is get the forward air, get the forward throw into forward air, and then they can just reset that and keep going.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how the Kirby kind of plays this. I think in terms of tempo and who controls the neutral at even percent, it just has to be Sora with all that excess mobility.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, historically, Kirby just doesn't do well against any character that has a larger hurt box than, or hitbox rather, than Kirby. So anyone with a sword, basically, and Key Sword does count for that. And we are seeing some neutral here. Kirby kind of struggling to keep Sora out. Not really something we normally see. Normally, Sora's just on the back foot, gonna walk into that side B, and Kirby takes the first stock.
Dude, that hammer has just been devastating for all of Kirby's opponents.
It's so scary too, right? Because ideally, if you're Sora, even though you have a sword, you have to get somewhat close to the enemy, right?
You do.
And if you just have this Kirby just prancing around, tiptoeing with this giant hammer, you either don't enter, or if you've already committed to enter, you're kind of just stuck.
Yo, absolutely. I mean, what Sora could do is try to camp out the Kirby with the neutral B. Obviously, Blizzaga is not going to be that thing. But with the fire neutral B, and Kirby gets another kill with the side B. Just caught Sora facing the wrong way, going for that forward tilt, trying to make something happen. And Kirby getting something started here.
Oh. Yeah. It's all about that turnaround, I think. Because I think you expect Kirby to turn around a little bit slower each time that he's charging up that hammer. But it's pretty quick. Like, it's hard to jump behind where he's currently facing and then get off a move grounded, which I think is what we're realizing now from the side of Sora. So now we're throwing out aerial moves behind, aerial moves in front, bait the switch, and then get a hit.
Yeah, and that is exactly what we're seeing here. The Sora's kind of adapting to this playstyle of the Kirby by doing things to slow down or stall their fall, right? So the down air that Sora has, he stays in the air for just a little bit longer, or using that neutral B is going to get the kill. Up B off the top. Kirby was at some crazy percent, over 100. So especially on that top platform on Battlefield, definitely going to kill Kirby pretty early. Able to get 19% off the side B, going for some more, 30% on Kirby, and it's racking up, but 94% on the Sora. He can't get caught by another hammer that will kill him. Of course, as I say it,
Caster's curse.
He dies. Kirby's going to win that out. 2 stocks, 50%. doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, I think this hammer is a very intimidating option for Kirby. I mean, we've seen it twice now. People just can't stop walking into it. It's a scary thing. Maybe it's like Kirby suction, you know what I mean?
Yeah, people are drawn to it. Oh, well, a lot of times when you see an opponent doing a move, you're just drawn to it accidentally.
Yeah, like the good old Marth charging neutral B. You're like, oh, I could get in there and stop it beforehand. Or the charging any smash attack on ledge. You're like, I can definitely get up quick enough and stop them before they can release it, right?
Yeah. Or you see them on ledge, they walk back to catch your roll, they charge a smash attack, and you just roll into it anyways, right? You just, there's something magnetic about it. Or maybe your brain just kind of turns off for a second. You're like, oh, I should do this. And then you end up dying for it. So that Kirby hammer just kind of turns people into zombie mode. They're just not thinking about it for a second.
Yeah, I think we've been blessed with a few of these matchups. I've really liked the wide array of the cast we've been seeing. I think if you asked me, I don't think we would have predicted a Kirby or a Piranha Plant or anything like that.
Now we got Kazuya Mishima versus Link. Again, characters that we don't get to see as much. Kazuya has been making a little bit of a resurgence in the meta. When he was originally released, a lot of people thought he was going to be pretty... Well, there was a lot of mixed reactions about him. They thought he was going to be good because he had some infinites or 0 to death specifically. But then there was a little bit of the community saying, no, he's not that good. And now with players like Riddles picking him up and doing fairly well in tournament, there's more of this, hey, maybe Kazuya is actually really good. And as we see here, Kazuya takes the first stock so quickly and then adds another 68%.
Yeah, I mean, Kazuya's and a lot of the FGZ characters in general are really interesting to see with a lot of these moves that lock into one another. I mean, we see it with both of the Street Fighter characters where once you connect a jab or connect a tilt, you're pretty free to do whatever you want afterwards. And most of the time, like with Kazuya, it leads to a kill confirm.
Yeah, exactly. You're not always going to get a kill confirm or not always going to be able to confirm that 10-hit jab combo. But if you can, you know, it does a lot of percent and makes your opponent kind of feel bad.
Yeah, not a lot of counterplay just like that.
The armor, oh my gosh, the armor on the down smash just going to take Link out. Not able to snap to ledge, so Kazuya going to take that game very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think if you ask that player, they would think Kazuya is definitely not weak.
Yeah, they think Kazuya is pretty good. Yeah, that was honestly one of the strongest performances I think we've seen so far. The Kazuya Mishima really doing a lot. And like we said, a lot of great combos, able to get the 10-hit jab combo, able to just make things happen. The forward smash is pretty strong as well. And then down smash got the armor on it as well. Able to just go through Link's up B. And here we go, Steve.
Let's go.
I wasn't sure if we were going to see it, but we do get to see the Steve. This is definitely an interesting character. Very good if you ask a lot of the pros, but does require a bit of skill. And yeah, this player vibe definitely has it.
Yeah, or if you ask specific pros, Steve might require too little skill if you ask the right crowd. Yeah, I don't get the mass hysteria. I think it's something that comes and goes in the Smash community. I mean, I think Ultimate's seen it already at least once with Hero, where Hero gets released. They think this 0 to death is too overpowered, or you have the issues with language barrier, and then talks of bans come and go. And I think that is probably going to be the case here with Steve. I think these talks are going to continue. I think they've already been droning down a little bit.
Yep. I mean, I think a lot of these talks kind of are rooted in the fact that we did see a Steve player beat MK Leo, the best player in the game. But I think recently with the Ludwig Invitational, that this massive major with a lot of big players, and MK Leo not dropping a game to any of the Steves that showed up. Didn't drop a game to anyone except for a Mario player. So kind of MK Leo cementing his greatness and the fact that if you learn the matchup, Steve is a menace, sure. Definitely a top tier, but not the best character in the game. You don't necessarily need to ban them.
Yeah, I think that's something that we haven't touched on yet. We've talked about how many characters we've seen so far, but I think we don't talk about the impact of a large amount of characters in the game, where
you can have these characters who haven't been touched in years since the game started.
Yeah.
People develop a neutral game. People develop a combo game. Learn certain matchups to make them look good. And I think that's kind of the beauty of Smash Ultimate that none of the previous titles have had, where there are so many characters and so many specific matchups that upsets are always going to be viable. Changes in meta without even having patches are viable.
Yeah.
Like there's so much opportunity for growth and shifting that you can see something like Steve right here just win a match, right?
Just win a match, yeah. And I completely agree to an extent. I think that is very true, and we have been seeing that, right? Steve has been making a resurgence. He has been out for a while now. We have not had any new patches. He's just been there. People have just learned how to play him, and they'll need to learn how to play against him as well. And we do see several people playing characters that were originally thought as bad or low-tier characters like Game & Watch, and then people are like, wait a second, this character is actually really good. I think the problem is because there's no more patches, because Nintendo has taken a step away from the game, the game will inevitably die out. And I think it has begun this process as well, because there is a dedicated fan base, but I'm not sure it's as dedicated as something like the Melee community, who just love the game so much that they're going to keep it alive forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a conundrum. Every Smash has existed except for Smash 64 that another one is coming. Your doom is imminent. And I think this one is the weird one because the cast is all here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there more cast to come?
What's next, you know?
Yeah. I think that's a good point to make, that at least for the time being, I can see the meta shifting a lot, because as we see Steve enter, maybe you'll see, maybe it's Kirby, maybe some other low tier or mid tier that hasn't been used is the answer to the counter pick. And now you have these weird double blind sets where you start off with Steve versus Kirby, and you bring out the Kirby counter pick, and you bring out the Kirby counter pick to the Kirby counter pick. Like, I think there's a lot of layers that could go with a dedicated fan base that can lead to its survival, at least. I mean, we still see PM. Smash 64 is very large at a lot of majors, so I wouldn't be too worried if you're listening and stressing. Don't be stressed.
Don't be stressed so much. But oh man, I wish that Kirby is the counterpick. I hope that Kirby's a counterpick to Steve. I don't think so right now, but I'm hoping someone will prove me wrong. Donkey Kong proving everyone wrong right now about this Kirby hammer strategy. Starting off very, very strong. Already got a stock now, looking for more, trying to get the ding dong. Is going to get called out by that down B. And down B is strong, does offer some armor, but it does have a slow startup and a lot of ending lag afterwards, so can be punished. And Donkey Kong just looking for these forward smashes, just wants to clap and move on to the next game.
Yeah, I mean, the downside of Kirby is, once again, this lack of mobility. I mean, and they're making Donkey Kong look quick on the ground and in the air, right?
Yo.
Like, anti-airing is so easy for Donkey Kong when you're dealing with a balloon drifting down from the top.
Exactly. Oh, trying to land with the hammer, but then you're going to get ding-dong.
Exactly what you want to see from the Donkey Kong player. I mean, that's just cookie cutter how you want to play against a slow floaty.
Yep, exactly. You want to keep calling out being in the air. In Smash Ultimate specifically, it is so scary to be above someone. You're just in constant danger because most characters have that ability to deal with a character that is above them. And that is typically like a kill option. But particularly for Donkey Kong, that up air is just so
above
strong.
Donkey Kong is the scariest place to be. Is second to being in his arms, right? Like,
exactly. Being in the warm embrace of Donkey Kong is the scariest thing.
And I think the Kirby was actually adapting to that gameplay. They realized they were in a disadvantage up and top, and so they used that down B. It's a really good get off me.
And now, speaking of get off me, we're going to see the ditto for the Piranha Plant. Both of them going for the up B, trying to get the other person off of them and off the top of the blast zone. I love Dittos. I think a lot of times they're really awesome. Personally, I played a lot of Jigglypuff, and I actually hate that Ditto. But a lot of other Dittos, like the Captain Falcon, the Donkey Kong, the Ganondorf, a lot of Dittos in this game end up being a lot of fun. And you know, a lot of times if you know your character, you know what the other person is looking for, and that kind of leads to very creative gameplay.
Yeah, I think we've been seeing a lot of edge play from Reese so far, throwing out those spike balls to try to keep the other Piranha Plant at bay, and as we saw there, zoning the landing with a prepared F smash.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like using that side B and then holding your opponent in it so that they just are forced to rack up more and more percent. Down to be going to catch, but not quite kill. 118. I don't know what it is, but Piranha Plant's hiding something in the pot that allows him to just be heavier than you would expect. You'd think he's just a plant. Ooh, an unfortunate SD tries the air dodge. Not quite what you want to see, and with that, we are going to see one Piranha Plant come out victoriously. I believe that was Reese on the Piranha Plant, but
yeah, I think they showed a lot of good things about Piranha Plant, though.
Yeah.
I think you can hold that ledge, and then I think as the other Piranha Plant learned, I'm not landing near you. I'm up being all the way to the other side of the stage.
Yo.
But if you're holding that spike ball, you could just chuck it at him, and I mean that's what we saw for the second stock. Piranha Plant can be pretty potent.
Piranha Plant can be pretty potent indeed. The spike ball does so much damage, so you have to be careful about that. Something that we didn't get to see, but something that Piranha Plant does have is if he's holding the spike ball, kind of he's breathing it up in the air, if you hit him, you're more than likely just guaranteed a hit on yourself from the spike ball. So it's a good aggressive option. It's a good move that will force your opponents to do something, but if they choose to attack you, it is a good defensive option as well because they'll just get hit with it anyways and take a ton of percent.
Yeah, do you have any characters you want to see? I mean, I feel like they're just putting on a show for us, switching characters.
Yeah, well, obviously, it looks like we are coming to an end to Smash, unfortunately. I would have loved to see something like Jigglypuff, maybe a King DDD, just fun, a King K. Rool, Ganondorf, a lot of the fun characters. But yeah, I do like that we were able to see a wide variety of characters, typically a lot of the more lower tier characters that we don't get to see a lot of. So while we did see Steve, we did see some Kazuya, you don't get to see a lot of Piranha Plant, you don't get to see a lot of Kirby. So it is nice to kind of switch it off a little bit.
I would agree with that. So that has been the closed tournament for the Gold Star Gamers. There's still some more Smash updates throughout the day. We might get some more Smash on broadcast with the open bracket, but we're going to take a break and get back to some Valorant action after this.
At Verizon, we don't just thank service members, we hire them. They're the best trained workforce in the world. We proudly employ more than 8,000 U.S. military veterans who can apply their training and move forward in their careers. I'm proud to support our V-teamers who have served and continue to serve. On behalf of all of Verizon, I want to thank you for your service and wish you a happy Veterans Day.
Excitement, competition, and new learning opportunities in a safe environment. It's no wonder schools across America are turning to esports as a way to engage students and offer them the chance to hone skills that will be relevant in the tech-driven careers of tomorrow. SHI has been helping K-12 and higher education institutions build effective and secure esports programs that support science, technology, engineering, and math since 2016. We're proud sponsors of the hugely successful Battle Academy Esports Tournament, with over 200 K-12 and higher education schools participating across the U.S. From building complete esports programs and state-of-the-art gaming arenas, to supplying the latest devices and components your students need to compete, SHI's team of dedicated esports education specialists can help you not only realize the right esports strategy and curriculum for your school, we can also help you identify and secure grant funding as well. Don't get left behind in the race to evolve your educational and sporting curriculum with esports. Learn more about how to get started in the world's fastest growing sport. Speak with an SHI specialist today and discover how we are helping K-12 and higher education institutions across America become competitive.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
Are you looking to fight for glory? 6 branches, 3 titles, 1 epic showdown. Join us in building the greatest esports community America has to offer. Compete against your comrades, or team up to win some branch-themed swag. Squad up for the upcoming season, and you might even land yourself some virtual chess candy. Be sure to enlist in the Military Gaming League Discord today, and never miss out on another opportunity. You're already an American hero. Now it's time to become an esports legend.
Hello and welcome back to the Warrior GMR Foundation LAN event. I am back, Xander, joining Nikita back on the analyst desk. Now we're hopping back into the Valorant tournament. We've had a couple games going on in the background as we had our Smash sidebar with the Gold Star Gamers, which is an awesome event to have them be a part of. But I'm not going to dilly-dally at all here on the desk. I'm not even really going to give you a chance to talk because we already have a game going. So I'm going to throw it over to the Navy Air Force game on Fracture. So boys, take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much, Xander. As you said, Navy versus Air Force. This is a matchup that we are so excited to see. I think the game is already in progress. Of course, I'm Alexander T. Kresek, joined by the man himself, Brian. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I'm excited to watch Air Force play again. I just watched them play against our Shenandoah A team, and they looked really solid. They're really good tactically. They play together really well, trade off each other really well. So I'm excited to see this matchup here, and I'm expecting a close game.
Yeah, and actually, I was watching Navy last night. They were scrimming against Air Force, and they played several maps together. So this is a matchup that they have played before. Yep. They have played each other. I haven't seen Fracture. I didn't see really any of the teams playing on Fracture. So an interesting choice, for sure.
And we're hopping right back into this. They're already up 2-0 now, Navy Esports.
Yeah, but they are down in a 2v3 situation. Never mind, they disappear as I was talking. Air Force going to take that round. The Molly was there, but they already had it at half. Not going to be enough time. And with that, Air Force got their first win on the board here.
Yeah, I wasn't able to see the other parts of that round, but a nice Molly coming out there to close the round out, and they were able to get the picks off and get the defuse. And now Air Force coming back into this game, and should expect to see 2 full buys coming into each other here. So this is a big round for Air Force to be able to take and get right back into possibly taking the lead.
Yeah, when we look at Fracture, what can we expect to see here? Is this more of an attacker-focused match, attacker-focused map, or more of a defender?
I think sometimes it can depend on the team, because if you have really good place or like team playing, like playing together as a team, then normally the attacking side is possibly a little favored, but if you have a really solid defense, then you can really run away with the defensive side. That's the beauty of this map. It all comes down to team play more than individual skill. So that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, we're going to see the fan favorite Stray trying to get something, but is going to be able to dash out. We are able to see Skinny pick up 1 and Stray pick up 2. Air Force, oh my goodness, look at that.
Yeah. That was a nice 4K coming out there from Stray, and you got to give a big, huge thanks to the Breach there. The Breach was able to get the concuss on all 4 of them inside of A main there, and or B main, I should say, and it was able to leave Stray to just clean it up for free. So one of the easiest 4Ks of his life, probably.
Yeah, they're probably pretty happy about that, especially now. Look at this economy. I mean, Air Force just in full swing right now. Navy looks like they're going to go on a little bit of a save here. Not going to get too much. They did invest in a Marshall. What are they hoping to do with this?
Yeah, Marshall, you want to see a lot of headshots coming out, obviously. With there's a lot of long-range sights on this map, so the Marshall tends to be really effective as Cart coming in big over here on the Brimstone.
Yeah, and we did see Navy pick up that first kill, but it doesn't matter as immediately Air Force was there to trade out 2 more for 1. So while Air Force did lose their jet, they did lose Stray, they are able to pick up 2 for that, and still in a very good position on the defense.
Yeah, they started to get aggressive back over there on the defending side. They got aggressive over towards A long, which ended up working out perfectly for them, and you're able to come up here on a 4v3 now with them walking in.
Yeah, speaking of walking in, they are just going to walk into this KO's bullet. Going to throw out the knife, trying to make something happen. And with that, they're just going to need to disengage the fade. Going to need to get out of there. Still has Spike, and time is running out. 38 seconds remaining. Something's going to happen. And, taking that fight. But KO just there. Tyler there to take it. We have the Marshall. It's the one weapon left. But Spike is down. There's not really much that the Navy can do here.
Yeah, they try to get effect out of the Marshall over towards the B site, trying to take advantage of, like I said, the long sight lines. The Marshall tends to do better if you're really precise with it, get the headshots, but unfortunately wasn't really able to come to effect here as he didn't really have anybody to shoot at, and Air Force is just going to clean up the round now.
Oh, 5 seconds left. Navy trying to get something, trying to make something happen. A run and gun, not going to be quite enough. Tyler, I think, got 3 kills that round, so very good on the side of Air Force. The KO holding it up.
Yeah, this is a nice play, just playing passive, knowing that the other team is on a worse buy than you, so you just play passive, wait for them to walk into you with the worst guns, and you're able to clean it up, as Tyler did right there, and that's a nice round out of Air Force as they now take the lead.
Yeah, 3-2 in favor of Air Force, and while you're looking at this, Air Force on defense, we did see them have a fantastic defense when we were on Ascent against the SUA team, and really just showing why they are one of the top teams here. Yeah. I think they are the second-seeded team right under Army, so again, doing a fantastic job. They are going to get, Straight is going to get picked early again, but as we saw last game, it doesn't matter as, oh my gosh, Air Force just strikes back so quickly.
Yeah, that was a nice play. They set up to try and get a trade over there towards that B main, and they ended up just getting both kills outright and coming out with now the main advantage 4v2 as looks like Army's trying to work back over towards this A site, but now they're down 2 people, and it's going to be a tough take for them.
Yeah, it's going to be so difficult. Down to 2 people. They have less than a minute remaining, and they don't have Spike. Where did Spike drop earlier? I suppose so.
Yeah, Spike is over in B main, I think.
They're going to need to do something. This either is going to be a save, or now they're already challenging people, and they're going to lose it. 8 health left on to the Brim.
30 seconds.
Trying to make something happen here. Going to find 1. Gets the Brim trade. But it's still a 1v3. Navy just in a bad position. Air Force knows where he is. They know, and they're going to find him.
Yeah. I mean, Air Forces are starting to clean up these rounds really well. Like I said before the game started, Air Forces, they play together really well. They trade off each other really well. They tend to push where they know when their teammate is making the play and how to play off of them, and that's exactly what happened that round. They played together over in that A main, and they were able to get 2 picks for free pretty much and get out, and it pretty much left Navy in a really bad spot, and so Air Force was able to clean up the round, and that was a really nice play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Navy here just got to get their head back in the game. You know, they can't let these losses kind of drag them down. Straight on the op, going to find a kill instantaneously. As we did see the Chamber, I believe, had the Headhunter out trying to make something happen. But unfortunately, just going to get op down too quickly. Just waiting, holding this angle. Straight. Solo holding this ends up working out very, very well for Air Force, because even if Stray does get traded out, the rest of the Air Force is, as you said, working together. They're able to just collapse together and get trades off of that. Yeah. So just a great positioning overall.
Yeah, after getting the opening pick on the Chamber there, you're able to pretty much just like take full advantage, take all the space, and have this long sideline. And he kind of gets timing there after watching the angle, and he still gets a kill. But
it doesn't matter.
Like I said, this is just nice play out of Air Force, just taking their picks and playing their space and cleaning up the rounds very effectively. And now they have the 5-2 lead, and the econ is going up, so this is looking really nice from Air Force.
Yeah, they've got to be happy about this. Just about to hit 6 rounds, 5-2 in favor of Air Force. Stray got another 4-piece last round, so they have got to be feeling themselves right now.
Yeah, if your Jet's popping off, that's always good for you, because Jet's normally the person that goes in, tries to get the opening pick, puts your team at the advantage, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's getting the opening picks, letting his team play off his advantage, off of his picks, and we see that it's prospering for them. And now they're up by 3 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, Stray kind of goes further beyond that, right?
Yeah.
It gets the first pick and then a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sometimes even almost the whole team practically. So
Exactly.
you've got to be feeling good if your Jet is just going insane right now.
Yeah.
And on the side of Navy, they don't really have anyone that has kind of the same impact. Of course, they do have a Chamber, but it's not quite the same as this Jet.
Yeah, Chamber is a little harder to get the opening picks when you're on the attacking side, so it tends to see the Chamber pop off more so on the defending side, especially on a Fracture, so we might see that they're maybe playing more towards their defense than their attack, but if they want to have a good defense, they're going to have to get more rounds than 2 on the attack.
Yeah, Stray does pop the Blade Storm, does get concussed, and is just gonna hold it. Not gonna do anything. We are gonna see someone get sprayed down through the smoke, and with that, Air Force already in great position. A little over 30 seconds remaining. Navy's got to make something happen. They still do have Spike, but they're gonna have to go off this site. I don't think they can push through here.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, just got to play the waiting game now that the smoke is down, and just wait for that smoke to go down, and then go for the attack, which is exactly what they're going to do here.
Yeah, very unfortunate. We are going to see an ultimate. Oh, it doesn't matter though. Stray is there.
Oh,
ready to get down. And even if Stray gets traded, the rest of Air Force is there to trade it back. 6-2 in favor of Air Force. Ultimates were used, but at the end of the day, Air Force still gets the better half of that.
Yeah, like I said, Stray, he's getting the opening picks, and then, like I said, Air Force just knows how to play off of their own teammates. So even though Stray was going down there, got a little aggressive, only got 1, Tyler was able to peek out and clean it up for him with a really nice 3K. So they're playing exactly to their advantage. They played together really well. You know, playing off the individual skill of their opening aggressive player, and that's exactly what they're doing. And now they're up 6-2.
Yeah, 6-2. Navy kind of in a little bit of a drought right now, and it may continue as Stray finds another opener. When you put an op into this man's hands, it is just incredible. He makes so much happen.
Yeah, the op over on the Jet, and ooh,
what? wait, what? What an interesting trade-off there.
Might have been an ugly trade, but it doesn't matter. He got the trade. That's all that matters.
Yeah. What a strange interaction, but at the end of the day, Air Force does still walk away with the benefit. We do see Tyler with a good strafe, just going to get away from that Sheriff. And again, Air Force just still in such a good position of 4v2. We are going to see a kill come down. They will get the plant, but not quite enough. The rest of Navy will fall shortly. Again, they're just so good at looking, taking these trades, and then moving on.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, it's just a repeating theme of even if Stray goes down, you know, they have other guys that are able to pick up the slack and be able to take these rounds. And you got to think for Navy at this point, there's got to be like maybe a different strat that comes in. Maybe they say, hey, we need to find out where this Jet is and try and play and maybe get a pick on the Jet and play off that pick, because right now it's just Stray taking over and getting those opening picks. And we see that even when she goes down, then the other team is able to pick up the slack and take these rounds. So got to maybe look for a new strat for Navy here, maybe different bomb site to go at from, and I don't know. It's going to have to try and change the strat up to be able to start getting back into this game.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something different, but no matter what, it looks like Stray just has the read on wherever they're going to go. Holding this angle, Navy does have the money. They do have the economy for this round, but they may lose it instantaneously as we see, again, another first pick for Stray, who just seems to be ready.
Yeah, he just knows where they're coming from, and that's now 2 opening picks, and this Jet's really starting to become a problem for Navy.
Yes. Maybe it hasn't just started becoming a problem. I think Stray's been an issue since the start of the game.
Yeah.
But now they're just heating up right now. It's just so difficult to get away from these op shots. Stray just not missing at all. Defenders win. And Air Force 8-2. We have 2 more rounds until the half. It is looking so in favor of Air Force right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Navy has to start thinking about maybe using a little bit of util early in the rounds to try and get these angles off, because right now it just seems like Stray is pushing up into angles and just holding for them to push in. But Navy maybe needs to start thinking about using a little bit of util to take the jet off the angle and try and push in off of that. But right now they're just pretty much walking into Stray's bullets, and he's not missing.
He is not missing at all. We are going to see a quick timeout come out. I think this is good. We were talking about Navy needing a little bit of time to reset, maybe find a different game plan.
Yeah.
The timeout is great. They do have a couple of rounds just before the half, but this is a good time to just calm down, reset your mental. Maybe this is a time to talk about what happens in the half.
Yeah.
Or talk about a quick strategy change that you can do, whatever you need, just to cool down your players a little bit so that they're ready to keep going mental. I mean, in this game, right, you're probably pretty boomed that the fact that the enemy jet just keeps hitting these shots.
Yeah, that's probably something I would say. But like, this jet, what's going on, guys? We need to do something about this jet, guys. Like, that's probably the same thing they're saying right now. And like I said, you know, they just need to find out where that jet is and try and take advantage of her, because right now it's pretty much all in Stray's hands.
Yeah, for real. It is Stray's world. We're just living in it at this point.
We're just living in Stray's world right now.
But yeah, 8-2, as we said. Air Force looking very dominant here. Navy, if they are able to get one more round, they may invoke the 9-3 curse, perhaps allowing them a little bit more of a chance to get back in.
Yeah, we got to see the 9-3 curse here. Because if it's 10-2, then it's going to be looking rough.
Yes, I mean, and it is looking like a possibility that we may see a 10-2. We did see the Navy have the economy last round, so they're probably hurting pretty bad. As we see, again, Stray able to get that first pick, and then the rest of the team just able to find the picks after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another clean round from Air Force. It seems like they just have a read on Navy, know exactly where they're going. They stacked over towards that long side over there, and they knew exactly where they were going to come from and just cleaned it up. And now he's going to be stuck in this 1v5 here with a full minute left, and you got to think Air Force is probably going to look to try and hunt him down, try and keep their econ down, and that's exactly what happens.
Very unfortunate. He saw it. He saw the head, but missed the first shot.
Yeah.
And with that, Air Force take it 9-2. Navy's got one more opportunity to get a round before we switch over in the half. And it just looks like Air Force is not slowing down whatsoever. They are just plowing forward.
Yeah, like I said, I think Navy's going to really have to pull out like a really strong defense here. Honestly, they have a lot of attacking power, but the thing about the util that Navy has, even though they do have a lot of attacking power, they also have a lot of defending power. They have the breach, they have the smokes, they have the flashes, they have the prowlers. They just need to find a way to use it to be able to get to their advantage, and there we go, another opening pick for Air Force.
Yeah, and it's so unfortunate because Navy sees the player first.
Yeah.
They have the lineup first. They're just not quite able to hit those shots. And it's something similar that we saw in the Shenandoah A team versus Air Force. It was the same thing where SU was able to see the Air Force. They were able to get the lineups first, but they just were not able to finish off the kill. They weren't able to hit the headshots.
Yeah. It's just the opening picks. Even though, like you said, he had the advantage. He was watching the angle, and still they were able to get the opening pick. As in looking for another 1v1 over here, and Stray once again not missing with the operator.
It does not miss. It wasn't the opening pick, but it is a second. Oh, it gets timinged a little bit.
That is a Valorant moment.
Looks away at the wrong time, so Navy does maybe have an opening and they don't even realize it. It is still a 3v5, so Air Force still in control, but Navy may have infiltrated the site. It doesn't matter, Skinny's there to hold off this angle here.
And yeah, like I said, Air Force just playing off each other really well. It seems like a lot of these rounds they've had a lot of their players alive, so it just seems like they just have the better team play right now, and Navy's just going to have to look for something to counter this on the defense, because looks like Air Force is ready to take this 10-2 half.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like, 1v4. And the ultimates are coming out. Tour de Force is out, Bladestorm is out, and Stray's going to finish it off with a headshot on the Bladestorm. 10-2 in favor of the Air Force against Navy, and Air Force, again, just looking so strong.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm just a broken record right now. I keep repeating the same things, but it's just true because Air Force is just playing together really well, and they're just able to take these rounds so clean. So Like I said, Navy's going to have to come back with a strong defense here. You know, if they're able to use all their util correctly, maybe do a little bit of what Stray was doing, get the opening picks, somehow get the operator out, and maybe they can repeat what Air Force just did on defense.
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible, of course, but I think especially today where Air Force has just been playing so well.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it seems very difficult that the Navy is going to try to grasp victory out of the clutched hands of Air Force. So it's basically the Air Force's game to lose right now. So I'll be very interested to see what the Navy can do. And Stray, what an aggressive positioning here. Is going to... The damage is going to get traded, but no deaths are going to be traded. Just in a very scary position right here. Ooh. The Rain is going to find the kill. Able to get a little bit of health. And we are going to see the trades coming back and forth. There's one person left on the side of Air Force. Then they're nowhere near the fight. They're going to spot out one so they know where Tyler is. Tyler's just going to fall back. 50 seconds remaining. He has tons of time, but just isn't enough. I mean, 1v3, we have seen Tyler get multiple kills before. We haven't necessarily seen him in this kind of clutch situation. Air Force hasn't been forced into a position quite like this before in this tournament. But do they have the clutch factor? It is going to, Tyler is going to avoid getting concussed, but it doesn't matter. As he comes back, he's just going to get taken down.
Yeah, that's a good start from Navy. You got to get that pistol around to get the momentum flowing, trying to claw your way back, you know, chip back this lead and try and just bring it back slowly. And starting with the pistol round win, that's big. And they were able to keep 3 players alive, which is very important for that economy, because if they're going to want to start coming back here from a 10-2 deficit, they're going to have to keep that economy up, make sure they have enough buys to be able to compete with Air Force. So they're really going to have to look to try and get this second round here as well, as it looks like Air Force is completely full saving, knowing they have the round advantage. They're up by a lot. They can save. They don't really need to force themselves into anything. So like I said, maybe they should be ready to get a 10-4 here, hopefully, knowing they have the better guns. But, yeah, they're going to have to start building that economy so they can claw their way back.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen, but I agree. From what we've seen from the Air Force, it seems like they typically end up losing those pistol rounds. The 2 rounds that Navy had before was from the pistol rounds earlier in the game. Yeah. So Air Force doesn't tend to win the pistol rounds, but once they build up their economy, they just win. And we are going to see the Headhunter from Air Force take the first kill. It is going to be immediately traded back, of course. And wow, just got to be very, very careful. Does get healed up a little bit here. And just holding this angle. He's going to spot out the other chamber. Not going to find anything, though. Finds a couple of shots there. So the Navy chamber is just really, really low. Anything can happen. Stray trying to hit those shots with the Sheriff. Not going to quite find it. Gets taken down. This is the opportunity Navy needs. They need to keep pushing, but I didn't expect this round to be so close as it has become. Especially because we know the Air Force is just full saving here.
Yeah, and Air Force is actually going to be able to get the plant down here, so that's definitely good for their economy. It's going to put some money into their banks, and even if they're not going to win this round, that's perfectly fine with them. They get the plant, they get the money, they get out of here, run to the bank and buy their ops and try and come back for the next round.
Yeah, and I think it is very possible that we are going to see the switch here now that Air Force has built up a little bit of an economy. As you said, they did get the spike down. They were able to get at least 1 pick. They got close to another, but yeah, now Air Force has money. They can make some moves happen. It's up to the Navy. Can they hold back the wave that is the Air Force, specifically that is just Stray?
Yeah, pretty much. And looks like Stray is not going to bring out the op. Maybe didn't have enough for it this round. So he's just going to bring out the Vandal, but now this is pretty much full buy versus full buy, so this is where Navy really starts their run back. If they can win these full buy rounds and start, like I said, just building that econ, coming right back, clawing back, chipping away, then this could be looking really good for them if they win this round.
Yeah, and they really do just need to chip away. They just need 3 more rounds in order to take this set, and they are going to find an opening pick onto the chamber. Breakaway is going to fall down. Now 5v4, and with that, they didn't see him. Oh my gosh, from behind the back, Navy's gonna find a kill, but Air Force 2 more on deck, and they're just pushing forward. They're throwing the guns away. They should be able to get, yeah, they do get the plant as well. 2v4 in favor of the Air Force. This is exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, this is what Air Force wanted, you know, to maybe to be able to come back, save last round, get their full buy this round, and be able to take this round. So, I mean, their whole goal right now is to destroy the econ of Navy because they don't have a lot of rounds to play with for Navy. You know, only, like you said, only 3 more rounds for Air Force. So if they're able to win this round and keep 4 up, that's absolutely massive for them. And Air Force is now on the brink, almost on match point.
Almost. They only lost 1 player, but it's Stray. You know, Stray just keeps dying, but for the trades, it's worth it. The rest of the team can buy him guns if need be. And yeah, Air Force just looking so clean throughout this entire tournament. They have just been looking unstoppable, frankly, and it will take a lot for the Navy to get back into this game.
Yeah, but like I said, you just got to chip away. If they're able to come back right now, they were able to get the full buy again. So because of that, them winning that pistol round, winning that second round, they're able to keep their economy up a little bit. So they're going to have pretty decent guns going into this next round. So it's not completely lost for Navy if they're able to take this one.
Yeah, Navy's not completely in shatter. Their economy isn't completely shattered just yet. We are going to see Breakaway. He's going to find out 3, but instantly gets taken out. What a clean headshot there. And again, Air Force has the advantage. They have the man advantage, and they're just going to rush site here. We do see the ultimate come out.
Nice pick.
Good pick. Navy instantly trades it back out. We are going to see the plant come out, and Stray finds 2. That is exactly what the Air Force needs. Navy now in a 2v4 situation. Spike is planted. The clock is against them. They need to retake this. Will they get it? Baby taking some shots, trying to find someone, and another player gets taken down. A 1v4 situation. Baby Chap's going to find 1. Is it enough? Will they find more? Is he going to check this corner? Oh, he is, but he gets taken down.
Nice shot out of Baby Chaps there, but unfortunately the round goes to Air Force, and they're now on match point. And I think that also destroys the economy for Navy, so they're probably going to be coming into this last round on match point for Air Force with, unfortunately, a bad buy. So this is really going to look rough for them. If they really want to claw this back, they're going to have to win this thrifty round now, and it's going to be rough.
It will be difficult, especially because we've seen how well Air Force has been playing this entire series, this entire day, really.
Yeah.
Even last night as well, when I was watching the scrims, Air Force was getting the better of the Navy in the scrims as well. So really just such a strong team that we're seeing here. And yeah, it'll be up to the Navy. They're gonna need to make something happen here. And Air Force just rushing onto site. They will take out Deep 6. We're gonna see trade back though for the 3 right now. Again, another trade. Stray still alive. You know it's dangerous when Stray is still alive. He's not able to finish that kill though.
Yeah, that's a nice kill out of there from Baby Chaps, and another pick from the chamber, making it a 3v1, and there you go. That's exactly what Navy needed. They got the picks, they got the trades, and they were able to win the round on the bad buy. That is absolutely massive for them, and I think Air Force their economy should still be good after this one. They're probably going to be able to buy next round, so they're going to have to win another round after this, but this is a good start for Navy.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the end. The Navy trying to crawl back from the depths of defeat. A fantastic round. I think the Air Force underestimated them. They'd rush site. They thought that they could just overwhelm the Navy, but Navy was ready for it. They systematically took out 1 player at a time, able to dismantle the Air Force's attack, but is it enough? It might be too little too late. 12-5 in favor of the Air Force. They've got so many match points till we get to a Navy even getting close to having match point.
Yeah, that's the rough part. Every round start, you're gonna know like the other team's on match point. This could be the end of it. So, and absolutely massive there from the Brimstone to get 2 picks, and this is now looking really good for Navy.
Yeah, and this may, if Navy is able to win this may break the back of the Air Force economy. I may be speaking too soon as we do see 3 kills. Going for it. Are they gonna check the corner? They're not. The chamber's out though. Oh my gosh.
That's a nice try out of there from the Brimstone. Unfortunately, he had to clutch up for the ace there. Was not able to get it, but like I said, Navy just chipping away back into this. Well, they can't really chip anymore. They're going to have to go on a streak. They're going to have to win 6 in a row now, but Like I said, this is a nice play out of them. They got aggressive over towards the main here, and something they weren't really doing before. They were playing kind of passive, letting Air Force come into them, but this time they decided they're going to be the aggressors, and it worked out perfectly for them.
Yeah, honestly, a great call from the IGN, just making sure, the IGL rather, that they're doing something. They're switching up their gameplay. They're catching Air Force off guard, especially at such a pivotal point, right? It is still match point for Air Force. They have to send a message. They have to make something happen. And again, Navy's doing a fantastic job, specifically Baby Chaps, in order to get these opening picks, making something happen for the Navy, and immediately forcing Air Force into a 4v5 at the start of the round.
Yeah. And like I said, they got aggressive again and were able to get the opening pick. So
Stray.
Nice plays, and Stray trying to get a pick and get out of here, but it's looking rough.
Yeah, Stray walks out unsuspectedly to 3 players of the Navy, and Stray falls down at 2v5. Navy's been doing a great job. I don't know what's happened here, but life has been breathed into this team.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like they're playing more together these past couple of rounds, you know? They decided to switch up their play style, and it's working perfectly for them. The only thing you got to think now is, if we keep doing this, will the other team maybe adapt? Will they find out what we're doing? And because they only need one more round to close it out, so it only takes that one round for them to adapt to what Navy is now doing. And so you have to start thinking about that as well. Do we keep doing this? Do we maybe change it up this round and play a little more passive? But as for now, it's working perfectly, and they're going to be able to take their 7th here most likely.
Yeah, most likely, unless Skinny can pull out an incredible clutch. They are looking. Are they going to check their corners? We are going to see one player maybe had the knife out, so wasn't able to see it, but it doesn't matter. Skinny gets taken down. Too many angles to look at. Too many players peeking him. Not ready for it. And with that, Team Ace on the side of Navy, 12-7. Navy is slowly crawling their way back, but again, as you said before, you just have that little thought, that little voice in the back of your head every time the round starts. They're on match point. Yeah. Air Force is still on match point. And even if Navy keeps winning these rounds, no matter what, if they mess up once, it's over. Yeah. Air Force wins.
So that's why it's pretty impressive to decide to make that play call, that style change, to start getting more aggressive. It's really confident out of them, and it worked perfectly for them. So it shows that they have pretty good mentals over there. They're like, we're not going to back down. Even though they're on match point, we're going to be the aggressors. We're going to take these rounds, and that's exactly what's happening. But Air Force coming back in with another full buy, and now they got the opening pick coming into match point.
Yeah, Skinny probably feeling a little upset, not able to clutch out that last round, so it has to start out with an opening pick. 5v4 in favor of Air Force. Stray, though, looking the wrong way, going to get taken out. And now we see immediately 2 more trades on the side of Air Force gets taken down. So a 3v4, Navy pushing forward. They're going to see someone through the smoke. He hears the reload, and he's going to get the trade. Spike has been planted. We are going to see a trade out from Tyler, but immediately both members of Air Force fall. Navy, there is a molly there, but it will get defused. 12-8. When we went to the half, I was not expecting this. I kind of expected Air Force to just roll, finish it up, maybe a 10-4, or a 13-4, and kind of walk away.
Yeah.
But wow, Navy is moving.
Yeah, it seems like I said, it's just they changed up their play style a little bit. They seem to just change something, because I don't know what's really been going on with Air Force. Maybe they're getting a little too overconfident. Maybe they're like, oh, we're chilling. We're 12-4. You know, we don't got to worry about much. But now the pressure is starting to get put on Air Force a little bit, because now going into this round they have a bad bye because their econ is down. So this could very easily get to 12-9 right here. So Air Force even now probably starting to feel a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, I'm sure they are not feeling the best. They're not feeling the greatest that they could, but anything is possible, and we are going to see 2 opening picks from the side of Navy. We are going to see Skinny get 1 trade back. Stray's going to find a trade as well, and now we're down to a 3v3. They're on site. Have to be careful for these mollies in the smokes as well.
Yeah, smoke blocking them off here, but looks like the brim here on the Navy side still has another smoke, but they're starting to rotate out here. They're actually going to go back, but that's a nice pick out of the brim there.
Yeah, nothing you can do. Is going to get flashed, but not really anything that Air Force can do to capitalize off of this 2v3. The fan favorite Stray still alive, going for the long flank, the long rotate. is Navy ready for something like this?
Oh.
Gonna get caught by the trip, though. That's very unfortunate. They are ready for it, actually. Ooh. Maybe not, actually. I take my words back. They should have been ready for it, but they were not as ready as they could be. We do see Breakaway with the op. They're going to be walking into Stray. Stray's looking the wrong way.
30 seconds left.
Oh.
Last player standing.
1v1.
Oh my gosh, we saw the head.
Skinny on 1 HP. Oh.
Skinny at 11. It's going to win it out of the clutch.
What a play.
Oh my gosh, and the arena pops off. Air Force feeling good about that win. It was really looking like Navy was coming back, but at the end, 12-8 in favor of the Air Force. Wow.
Yeah, and a nice play out of Skinny there at the end on the 1 HP, and the defender knew where he was exactly, but he was able to peek out, get that little bit of damage, make both of them 1 HP, and then finish it off. That was an absolutely incredible play out of there with the Stinger as well. One of the worst guns in the game, in my opinion, but he was able to pull it out. Yeah, like I said, nice plays out of Air Force. They were really confident. They went up 12-4, and Navy almost brought it back, but they were able to clean it up and win the game 13-9.
Yeah, I will say this match has definitely got me excited to see more out of Navy because going into a 10-2 half and bringing it up to 13-8, that is definitely that was almost 6 rounds in a row for them. So what a fantastic job from the Navy. Of course, huge shout out to the Air Force. They did awesome. They will continue to move their way through that winner's side of the bracket. Navy now dropped down to loser's side. They're going to have to fight their way tooth and nail through a lot of these other competitors who have dropped down early, like SU's A team. Yeah. So we might see them face off very shortly. But that will be us at the caster desk. We're going to throw it over to the analysts. Take it away, guys.
Thank you so much, and job well done with that matchup. 13-8 in favor of the Air Force. It looked like the Navy was going to make a little bit of a comeback there. We started writing off the round a little bit early, and all of a sudden, Navy with a resurgence there.
I mean, I think we've seen it a lot today, where you get into a specific map and you get that side at half, and you take away the game with it. I mean, we saw it in the SU match. We saw it with Air Force and Navy here, right? Navy really just stood their ground. They're like, we're not giving up. And I think they won, 4 straight rounds, 5 straight rounds?
Yeah, something like that. It was a nice little run that they put together, and that's like that kind of down but not out sort of mentality that you have to have in Valorant because it can get down to a very slow-paced matchup. But yeah, wow, what a job by them. But we've seen a ton of games so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket so far and see just how today is shaping up. As you saw, the Air Force taking down the Navy there. Army waiting for them in the winners finals. And that is, those are top 2 seeds coming out of the qualifiers from before this event. So let's go ahead and take a look at the remaining teams down in the lower bracket. We've got Navy Esports facing off against SUB, and then I believe SUA is in the lead against Regiment, so we'll wait to call that one, but it's looking pretty good for SUA to be able to move on to face off against the Coast Guard, and that will be sort of our quarterfinals for the lower side of the bracket. Again, that is the last life for all of those teams, so losers will be eliminated from the tournament, and the winners will move on to face off against each other, and then the loser of the winners final. So that's going to be it's a long road. If you go down to lower bracket early, you've got so much more work ahead of you.
Yeah, and I think something when we looked at the upper bracket, we see seeds 1 through 4, we see seed 1 and 2 in the finals. I think we shouldn't take away from the teams that they faced. I mean, we just saw it. There was a close competitive match. We've seen so many close matches so far after that initial round, which I think helps a lot of people get that first game jitters out of the way, right? Like,
oh, absolutely.
We get some game plans, we can adjust, and I think we saw a lot of adjustments and a lot of nail biters. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if you have one of those very dominant first round performances, yeah, you get some of those jitters out. You also maybe move into the second round a little bit untested, and then you like, oh wait, I've got to this is the winner of the other match. Now we've got to really get down to brass tacks. So Air Force able to come out on top in that instance, but we've got A lot more Valorant left to go. But first, we are going to check out the grand finals of the Gold Star Gamers Smash Tournament. But even before that, we're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back.
At Verizon, we don't just thank service members, we hire them. They're the best trained workforce in the world. We proudly employ more than 8,000 U.S. military veterans who can apply their training and move forward in their careers. I'm proud to support our V-teamers who have served and continue to serve. On behalf of all of Verizon, I want to thank you for your service and wish you a happy Veterans Day.
Excitement, competition, and new learning opportunities in a safe environment. It's no wonder schools across America are turning to esports as a way to engage students and offer them the chance to hone skills that will be relevant in the tech-driven careers of tomorrow. SHI has been helping K-12 and higher education institutions build effective and secure esports programs that support science, technology, engineering, and math since 2016. We're proud sponsors of the hugely successful Battle Academy Esports Tournament, with over 200 K-12 and higher education schools participating across the U.S. From building complete esports programs and state-of-the-art gaming arenas, to supplying the latest devices and components your students need to compete, SHI's team of dedicated esports education specialists can help you not only realize the right esports strategy and curriculum for your school, we can also help you identify and secure grant funding as well. Don't get left behind in the race to evolve your educational and sporting curriculum with esports. Learn more about how to get started in the world's fastest growing sport. Speak with an SHI specialist today and discover how we are helping K-12 and higher education institutions across America become competitive.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
Are you looking to fight for glory? 6 branches, 3 titles, 1 epic showdown. Join us in building the greatest esports community America has to offer. Compete against your comrades, or team up to win some branch-themed swag. Squad up for the upcoming season, and you might even land yourself some virtual chest candy. Be sure to enlist in the Military Gaming League Discord today, and never miss out on another opportunity. You're already an American hero. Now it's time to become an esports legend.
Welcome back, and we're playing musical chairs once again. One Alexander leaves, one Alexander returns, and once again we have the Alexander T. Kresek here to join us for some Smash Brothers commentary.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm just running around the venue basically today. I get to cast a little Valorant, get to run back here, cast a little bit of Smash. So I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to see some more Smash action. And we are indeed in the grand finals for Smash. We have Reese on that upper side of the bracket. So if Reese's opponent's able to win, we are going to see a bracket reset, and this will be a best of 5. So we do get to see a little bit more consistent kind of Smash formatting here. I'm very excited. I think what we saw out of Reese was a Piranha Plant, I believe, when we were watching a little bit earlier. But of course, in Smash Ultimate, you probably have more than one character that you played. The roster is just so big, and there's so many characters that kind of counter each other that you are probably going to main a couple of characters at least. So Reese may have a couple other characters in their bag of tricks for sure.
Yeah, I think what we saw a lot during the round-robin phase was players adjusting pretty early on to some of the neutral plays or how the opponent's approaching, but not being able to adjust until that last stock. So I think this BO5 format will really allow both players to learn the tendencies of each other.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, while you were talking, we did see a shield break from Reese on this DK. Again, you have to be so careful. You have that giant punch. You have the side B as well. There's just so many shield pressure options that DK has that you just have to be so careful about. And the Kazuya Mishima gonna land into that giant punch. Reese up 3-1, stocks 141. You'd think it'd be dangerous, but Donkey Kong lives for these situations, just wants to get more damage, more combos off, and can do it. Yeah, the deceptive hitbox of the Kazuya down air is going to catch Reese off guard and allows Kazuya to take that stock. 2-1, though. Reese still in a fantastic spot for Donkey Kong. And, of course, Donkey Kong kind of initiating options are dash attack or run up grab. So you kind of know what Donkey Kong wants to do, but you somehow keep getting hit with it. It's the magic of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he just has so many get off me moves, man. Like that approaching dash attack is so threatening if you're not prepared for it. And that grab, I think in every single iteration of Donkey Kong, that grab has been so oppressive.
Yeah, it is so good. I think in Smash 4, it was just, so oppressive. It was so terrifying. You just didn't want to get grabbed. And wow, what a great wait and read. Reese just sitting there waiting for Kazuya to throw out a move like that down B and is able to just completely capitalize on it with the giant punch. But that was very close. We did see Kazuya kind of getting a little shworked in the beginning there, but was able to bring it back eventually because like we were talking about before, Kazuya just has the combo game, has the damage, even has the weight as well, just allows him to live longer and deal a ton of damage. And after he gets into that rage mode that he has, he gets more super armor on some of his moves, and he just goes crazy.
Yeah, I think in that game we saw Kazuya trying to find out where to approach from and how to approach from.
Yep.
I think those first two stocks we saw a lot of the time trying to approach from the front and Donkey Kong just rolling into him with that dash attack and knocking him up.
Oh, I love this. We immediately see the full character switch. We're getting Vibe off the Kazuya on to Joker, which is a fantastic character in the game. And then Reese sticking with the heavies, going to go to that King K. Rool, our resident King K. Rool player. Whack, probably if he's watching, wherever he is, hopefully he is just sitting there smiling. He's got to love that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is good to see from both sides. Maybe Vibe saw something that they thought the Joker would be able to complement better. And I think Reese did acknowledge that some of their tendencies were getting picked up in the end of the game.
Yep.
So let me stay in a somewhat similar play style. I'll switch to a different heavy, but I'll change the way my neutral interactions work. I mean, K. Rool can play so much further range away than a Donkey Kong.
Yeah, absolutely. As a K. Rool, you have a little bit more opportunities to camp as a Donkey Kong. Like I was saying, you really just have two ways to approach. You can dash attack or you can grab. And that can get snuffed out a lot of times. King K. Rool, you don't even need to approach. You can throw out the crown, you can have the cannonball, or you can use your armor on the belly to get through with things like dash attack. So a lot more options for K. Rool. You just have to be careful because that recovery can sometimes get gimped out pretty easily. What a strange interaction, though, there. Really quickly, we did see the Tetracon come out on the side of Joker, was able to reflect the cannonball, but still got hit with a dash attack by King K. Rool. Doesn't matter. That air is immediately rectified as Vibe is able to get that kill, and we see Reese just waiting out the Arsene. Smart move there. We haven't seen it as much in pro play. Players just kind of get back into the game, especially when you're heated. You want to just get back in there. But taking time for yourself to just calm down, cool off a little bit, and wait for that Arsene to run out is a very viable strategy. I wish we saw it a little bit more.
Yeah, that Angel platform is just a few seconds for you to really gather everything,
think about your game plan. I mean, you even have time to watch what your opponent's doing. You're just sitting there. You're invincible. You can just watch them do what they're doing. What are they doing in between stocks? Oh, they're going on platform while I'm on the platform, or while I'm on Halo. I'll take note of that for the next time, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's when you can really start calling people out. You know, we see a lot of these up smash kills because once your invincible opponent comes down, people just don't know what to do, and they make silly mistakes.
Yeah, I think this neutral is really becoming a lot more careful from both sides here, where we are seeing Reese throw out some blunderbuss, some crowns. And that was just really unfortunate where we were talking about exploitable recoveries, and that was just more of a miscalculation from the side of Vibe.
Yeah, unfortunately, did want to get the down air, didn't want to get the fast fall down air. And so by the time that Vibe realized that they had accidentally hit that fast fall, they were too far gone. Joker does have a pretty good recovery, but sometimes when you fast fall with these moves like down air that has a lot of end lag, you are just too far gone by the time you realize you're dead.
Yeah, Arsene is coming out at the perfect time for Vibe here. I think they were down almost 70% before, and now they're just trying to inch that lead right back.
Oh, Vibe trying to get the air dodge, but instead gets hit with the cannonball and loses Arsene faster. So unfortunately was able to get a lot of percent racked up, 97. Wasn't able to get the kill, and the down smash is going to take the kill. Reese gets another game on the board, 97%. K-roll down smash.
I think that was definitely an improvement, though.
Yes.
I liked seeing the different play style from the side of Reese, and I think the adjustment that Vibe made paid off really well. I mean, that was, if Arsene maybe got one more hit, that could have been the game.
That
right?
could have been it. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the big question now is who's switching, who stays. Do we switch entire play styles? Do we maybe see Vibe pull out a heavy, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that. I think based on the playstyles that we've seen for both these characters, or both these players rather, I think we are going to see just new characters, and that's what I love, because it's another matchup. You got to learn the playstyle of the character. You've got to adjust your own playstyle for the character, and then your opponent needs to do the same exact thing. So just a lot of adjustment from both of these players, and that game was so close. It was just back and forth. I mean, that was definitely a last hit, last stock situation. K-roll at 97%. Deceptively closer to death than you might think, especially if Joker had, like you said, Arsene maybe one more hit. Definitely could have taken the stock.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see a character with at least some ranged ability from the side of Vibe. Yeah. I think when they had that crown in their hand in Game 2, they're actually more oppressive than K-Rool was with it.
Absolutely.
And then that Arsene, all those ranged abilities that come out of there, I'd really like to see that adjustment, because I think that is where Vibe had the upper hand in that matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, I do want to see Vibe switch characters just because I enjoy the switch of characters, but honestly, you know, it might just do them better to stay Joker at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think you got 3 stocks to learn how to play neutral when you're just Joker.
Yep.
And I think when they had Arsene, I think they were playing great. I think that's where they evened things up, potentially even took the lead if you want to argue 100% versus 97%, but you have Arsene. That could be a lead. That could be a tie. I think Arsene is the comfort, and I think if you have the switch on the other side from Reese, then things get a little bit iffy. I don't know who I want to see. Maybe you switch back.
Yeah.
Like maybe you go DK. You take away some ranged options for yourself, but you take away the counterplay, right?
Yeah. And I mean, typically in like Smash tournaments, whoever wins has to choose their character first, and then the loser has the option to kind of counterpick into that. So it will be very, very interesting to see what kind of happens all in all with this next matchup. Of course, I mean, Reese and Vibe just going back and forth. I think Game 1 was a little bit more in favor of Reese. He had that opening opportunity. He had got the first 2 stocks so quickly, and then Vibe was starting to crawl back into the game. And it wasn't until Game 2 that with that Joker versus K-roll that we really saw Vibe kind of coming into his own. But yeah, it will see. It looks like we're waiting just a moment. Maybe these players taking some time to sit down and think about their strategy, think about the characters that they've seen, the characters that they've played, figure out where they want to go and what character can counter which character. But It doesn't matter. Here we go. Vibe sticking with the Joker as we originally thought. And Reese going to that Mario.
I don't know how I feel about this. I think we got to see how this first stock plays out. I'm not really too familiar with this matchup.
Well, what I can say at least is Mario's on a tri-plat, and that is kind of always where you want to be with Mario. It can really just help extend your up air combos, and that just benefits Mario to no end here. Going for the forward smash. Vibe just throwing out smash attacks. Both of them just throwing out smash attacks, hoping something sticks. Vibe is going to get Arsene 81%. The counter, the Tetracon comes out, and Vibe now making some moves. Something that you do have to worry about, though, is that cape from Mario, especially with Joker's side B.
Yeah, we were talking about on the side of Reese maybe picking a character that didn't have range so it couldn't be used against themselves, but now we're taking it even a step forward in the opposite direction where Reese can now counter all of this Arsene damage with that cape.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, it just has happened that we see Vibe at 163%, just barely living. Both these players trying to throw out kill moves. Great counter from Rebel's Guard from Joker. Ooh, gets turned around by the cape. That was so wow, that was so aggressive from Reese. That was such a risk, but it ended up working out. And Joker just going to land with that forward air, and we're practically back down to neutral. Both these players just even here. Mario's got a little bit of extra credit and getting more, but they just keep going. The smash attacks are a bit much. I think both these players might need to calm down a little bit with these smash attacks. They are great moves. They do have some knockback. They do have some damage, but both these characters are known for their combo game, and we see we see the cape come out, reflect the damage. Both of them are just countering now.
I really do think that extra time they took really benefited Reese with this character pick. I think we saw with that last stock, Reese went really aggressive to get that grab, but I think it's because Vibe just got Arsene, and by throwing him back and killing him there, you delay Arsene timer by like another 30 seconds or so.
Yup, absolutely. And I mean, right now, as you're talking about, Reese just in such a good position. What a great parry. Oh my gosh. Not quite able to get too much out of it, but it's kind of sending a message to your opponent, right? You're not afraid to run up and parry those smash attacks that Vibe keeps throwing out. That's a true Vibe check, if you will. And oh my gosh, Reese almost dying from that. Wasn't ready for it. Does die from it. An unfortunate SD. Probably didn't mean to do that. 40% on the Joker with Arsene. Just about a full Arsene, so this game could go anywhere. Mario does get hit with the side B, so that'll be about 20%. And Joker gets hit with it as well, so gonna eat some more. The forward smash gonna lose Arsene, and it is down to the wire.
Yeah, this is
so careful.
This is a scary position right here.
Yeah, I mean, both these players again just throwing out so many smash attacks, very punishable. But neither of these characters really known for their quick smash attacks. Oh, the forward air, this might catch him. Mario should recover from this. Oh no! Oh, that's so sad. Oh no, the drop off air dodge. Probably wanted to jump on stage or roll on stage and just ended up accidentally buffering an air dodge instead. That is not how you want to lose, but it's okay. This match still goes on.
Yeah, I think for Vibe, you just have to take that. You have to take that as you won that. You need to set your mental in the correct direction.
Yep.
I think for the side of Reese, no sweat, right?
Yeah.
It was a simple input error. I had the lead. I've been managing their Arsene usage very well. I feel comfortable in this matchup. How do I feel about Mario? How do I feel about K. Rool? How do I feel about DK? I think that's where it's leading.
Yep.
I don't think there's any real worry yet. It's just more which of my options do I want to pull out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing Vibe lock in that Joker right now and we see another character on the other side.
Oh! Yeah, very interesting here. Vibe's going to actually lock in the Sora, and now we have DK. Interestingly enough, when Sora came out, of course, there was a 0-to-death combo found from Sora, specifically on DK, because there always is a 0-to-death on just DK. But an interesting matchup. But, I mean, if you're a Reese, right, you have to be feeling confident in your DK. The DK has been playing so great all day, and just going to call out these side Bs, going to call out the counter as well. And Reese just able to throw out these big moves and not get punished for it.
Yeah, I really think we got to look at how DK is playing around all of these platforms. I mean, Sora has such large air mobility, but you can't really use it if you have DK sharking you with up airs when you're trying to move across with your side B or just trying to double jump through. So I think that's really going to be where our focus should be, right at that center of the stage beneath all the platforms.
Yes, and I think Vibe really needs to hold back on pushing the side B button, because Vibe just keeps getting punished for it. It is a great move, sure. It's fast. It's kind of unreactable a lot of times, especially online. But you can just armor through it with DK. You can just get through a lot of those options, and DK does keep doing exactly that. Reese is just getting so much extra credit off of the fact that Vibe just keeps side being into him.
And I think we really got to pay attention to this up air here. This is a really scary position for Vibe. I think being anywhere in the center of the stage is just not a good look.
No, and I mean, it's great for Reese because he can just live a little bit longer. And of course, if you're Sora, you're going to make it back from whatever. As long as you're still on the stage and you haven't died, you will make it back from wherever you are. And we just see Vibe throwing out moves. Back throw going to get the kill. Reese now 3 stocks to 1, 134%. Probably a forward smash at the edge will kill. Even forward air almost killed at the end. Wow, able to get through the thunder. Oh my gosh, that takes both skill and luck.
Reese is just completely unscared at the ledge. I mean,
no fear.
Regular get up, I'll hold shield in your face, throw out a hitbox, I'll grab you, I'll back throw you.
Yeah, and with that 96% Vibe really on the back foot here, gonna make something happen. Who has to be careful? Oh my gosh, ledge invincibility for regrabs is gone, so if Vibe had grabbed the ledge there, he would have been punished for it. And still alive here, just trying to get a little bit more percent. Ooh, tries to go for the forward smash, but Reese is just pressing buttons. He's trying to move, trying to get away from that. Again, the counter not very strong on Sora. It has its time and place for sure, but I think can't always use it. Now 131, that's gonna be death.
Oh.
Gonna call out that counter there. DK with the giant punch, gonna finish it off, and I believe Reese ends up taking that 3-1. The series will go in favor of Reese.
Yeah, I think this tournament started with, I think it might have started with a DK punch. Did it not? Or maybe it started with the Kirby side B? Regardless,
yes.
These strong moves, these chargeable moves, they started the tournament, they set the stage, and now it closes the stage.
And now it closes it.
Curtains come.
Yeah, I mean, I will say for this tournament in particular, I don't think I've seen quite as many of the Kirby side Bs or the giant punches, but they are very fun. They do come with their own perks. Like you said, the chargeable moves just can be so strong, especially if you use them at the right time. You can armor through certain moves. You can punish your opponents for throwing out certain moves. And Reese did exactly that by punishing things like that counter from Sora. A lot of characters, when they counter, there's just so much end lag at the end of it that you have a free punish. So you have to be so careful when you're throwing it out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great tournament. I'm happy to be here. Thank you to the Gold Star Gamers for coming out and competing in this.
Yeah.
I believe there might still be an open bracket competing. I know it got to grand finals. I don't know if the open bracket finished or not yet. So we can give you some updates on that later on. But I think we're going to cut to a short break before joining the Army Air Force Winners Finals match.
Ooh, that's gonna be incredible. So you are not gonna want to go anywhere, but we'll be right back after this commercial break.
At Verizon, we don't just thank service members, we hire them. They're the best trained workforce in the world. We proudly employ more than 8,000 U.S. military veterans who can apply their training and move forward in their careers. I'm proud to support our V-teamers who have served and continue to serve. On behalf of all of Verizon, I want to thank you for your service and wish you a happy Veterans Day.
Excitement, competition, and new learning opportunities in a safe environment. It's no wonder schools across America are turning to esports as a way to engage students and offer them the chance to hone skills that will be relevant in the tech-driven careers of tomorrow. SHI has been helping K-12 and higher education institutions build effective and secure esports programs that support science, technology, engineering, and math since 2016. We're proud sponsors of the hugely successful Battle Academy Esports Tournament, with over 200 K-12 and higher education schools participating across the U.S. From building complete esports programs and state-of-the-art gaming arenas, to supplying the latest devices and components your students need to compete, SHI's team of dedicated esports education specialists can help you not only realize the right esports strategy and curriculum for your school, we can also help you identify and secure grant funding as well. Don't get left behind in the race to evolve your educational and sporting curriculum with esports. Learn more about how to get started in the world's fastest growing sport. Speak with an SHI specialist today and discover how we are helping K-12 and higher education institutions across America become competitive.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
Are you looking to fight for glory? 6 branches, 3 titles, 1 epic showdown. Join us in building the greatest esports community America has to offer. Compete against your comrades or team up to win some branch-themed swag. Squad up for the upcoming season, and you might even land yourself some virtual chest candy. Be sure to enlist in the Military Gaming League Discord today and never miss out on another opportunity. You're already an American hero. Now it's time to become an esports legend.
Three, two, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome back to the Warrior GMR Foundation LAN event. We've got Valorant, we've got Smash. It is raining outside, but it does not stop the droves of people to come through today and compete and spectate this amazing event. My name is Zombie Xander. I'm joined by Mr. Nikita Bear, and we're here to discuss a little bit about some of the updates we've got for the Valorant bracket. Up next, we're going to be watching Army versus Air Force. Tell me a little bit about these teams.
It's the rematch everybody wanted from the qualifier, right? You guys have first seed, undefeated, 3-0 Army. We had the story from Air Force, right? They're not scared of anyone. They're ready to play. We have the story from Army. They're not even thinking about anyone, right? So you have Army doesn't even care, and now you have Air Force telling them, we don't care about you. So
it's a little bit of back and forth there. I love it. I hope there's a little bit of banter going on the main stage with those two teams, because that's the great thing about LAN environments is you can absolutely do a little bit of friendly smack talk across the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be happy to hear all the screaming and shouting, the hollering in between rounds. I really think this casting during the match is going to be really live. The crowd will get into it. I mean, that's what a LAN is all about, right? You can't emulate that online.
Absolutely, and we just took a look at that lower side of the bracket. If we could take one more look at that, we've got SU, the B team, facing off against the Navy squad, and then Coast Guard facing off against SUA. So both Shenandoah University teams still in it, albeit on their last life here in the lower side of the bracket, facing off against both Navy and Coast Guard. Two of the teams that I kind of expected to be right in there. I mean, obviously you've got number 1 and number 2 seed coming out of the qualifiers right there still in the winners finals. And then, you know, they're right there in the semifinals of the lower side. So it'll be a good one. But yeah. Let's just go ahead and hop right into it and bring in our casters. Let's get into some gameplay.
Thank you so much, Xander and Bear. It's like you guys said, it's winners finals. I mean, it does get more exciting than this somehow, but barely. So of course the winner of this will go on to grand finals. My name is Will Jenkins. Joining me is Brian Truslow in the flesh. What are your thoughts going into this game?
I'm expecting a really close match here, honestly. You know, going into winners finals, this is arguably the two best teams here at the tournament. So when you go into the winter finals, you know, you got to know that this isn't your last chance. Even if you lose this, you're going to go right back down to the loser finals to get into the grands. But obviously, you're going to want to win this to try and get into that grands like right away. get the advantage on the map picks, because the Grands is going to be best of 3.
Yep.
It's not going to be best of 1. It's going to be best of 3. So we could expect to even see a rematch of this exact match in the Grands, depending on how things go.
Yeah, it is very possible, and honestly, doesn't get more exciting than that. I mean, best of 3 grand finals, and I'm excited to see really what comps we're going to come and see out from these teams. I imagine we'll see pretty much what we've seen all tournament, though, which is a lot of mirror matchups in Recon, Smokes, Sentinel.
Yep.
I think the difference has been really either that initiator role and the duelist role.
Yep.
We've seen like Breach and KO being opposites of each other. We've seen Raze and Jet, amongst other things. We've seen Arena as well. So I think the wide difference of characters to choose from, and also depend on the map as well.
Yeah.
Which maps do you think we'll see the most variety in?
Honestly, I think the most variety tends to happen in maps where it's kind of a flex pick. So obviously with Ascent, you normally have like your standard like Duelist, your standard Smokes, Omen, Chamber. Obviously, we're going to see Chamber probably every single time, no matter what. So honestly, I'm hoping to get to see maybe possibly a Icebox here, because Icebox normally is where people like to flex a little bit different picks. But for right now, I think we're pretty just going to see the standard, Chamber. Most likely, but the Jet coming out of Air Force is we definitely don't see a lot of other teams running that.
Yeah, it is also fitting that Air Force would use Jet. But another thing I wanted to kind of ask is, do you think we'll see the lesser characters, not really lesser, but less pick characters like Phoenix, Astra, Killjoy, characters like that? Because we haven't seen them pretty much all tournament.
I'm assuming they're just going to stick with